right. Hey, I guess we're live now. How's it going, y'all?
And
Welcome back to Trekyards.
yes, and
Trekyards.
you've all done your blood screenings, haven't you? The mandatory blood, because we do like, because part of what we do here at Trekyards is look at the deep dive lore. And if you're a changeling, you haven't got the deep dive lore because you aren't the person that you're pretending to be. So hopefully, you guys, there's not any reveals or twists here about any blood screening failures. Hopefully, it'll all be good, Stuart. I'm pretty. Are you pretty confident? I'm pretty confident.
I am. I cut myself and proved this to you that I'm actually who I say I am right now. If you wanted me to, but
Well, you didn't have to let it drip into a cup and then fill the cup and then drink it. But I mean, hey.
Ugh. What the hell?
Sorry, guys. We've been doing some acting recently, and I stayed in character there for the bit.
Yeah. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. We're going to be talking about a new episode of Picard today. That's right.
Yes.
Episode 5. Imposters.
This is an episode. Like, there are episodes, and then there's episodes, and this is an episode.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I'm
and I feel like singing a song. Ready? Row, row your shuttle gently into a nacelle. Smash, crash, bang, boom, bump, ba-dum-ba-da.
Betrayer. Or not, depending on perspective.
Oh, spoilers.
All the mucky are dead. Ha!
There you go. Perfect.
I'm going to put a poll.
Yeah. All right. While he's doing the poll, guys, well, actually, I did it when he shares things. Anyway, 43 of you here, hit that like button, though. And, we got a new member. Aaron Bailey has joined the channel at the rank of Ensign. Welcome aboard,
Hi,
Ensign,
Aaron.
sir.
And in fact, you joined, you might have unjoined, but you joined during the pre-recorded premiere. So I said we're going to shout you out. I guess you unjoined and rejoined before this live, because then you get the actual shout out. So thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. Yeah. And you will be on one of the ships in the fleets coming very shortly. So stay tuned to the episodes. You'll see your name in there. And yeah, thank you for the support. We really appreciate that.
And apparently YouTube wants to support us by throwing an ad. At 4 minutes in. It's a good day to add.
They've been doing that a lot lately, though, like right as we start.
It's weird.
And then not again for the rest of the live.
Yeah, yes. Like, they only get... Trekyards are
Like
one ad.
everybody tunes out after 6 minutes, so we're just going to put it in now.
But we have 3 hours. 6 minutes. That's always vamping as well. Oh, dear.
And Olivia throws in $5 and says, everyone on the USS Indianapolis must hit like. That is her ship. She has been you in order. She is the captain. So there you go, guys.
It's so funny because I have obviously a lot of these names from my fan films. It's so surreal to hear those names because I have all this logic connectivities. It's like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Ozzy, if you're here. You are here. Ozzy, say hi. So I know you're actually listening.
All right.
Yes.
We'll wait for him to say hi. But in the meantime, I'll read Tom Casey's with $5.
Yes. Hi,
Love the twists and turns this year. Always like a show that catches me off guard. Don't like or dislike Ro, but that caught me off guard. Yeah.
That is fair to say.
I had very strong opinions about Ro going into this.
She did not quite row your boat.
She did not.
And you could have watched her go down the stream and be okay.
Yeah. I'd have liked to seen her would have liked to have seen her get steam rolled over.
Ozzy is here. Ozzy. That shot I showed you a few minutes ago, Stuart. That's the shuttle's skeleton hands.
Oh.
Because I knew we were gonna.
Can you see it in the shot? Let me see.
There are shots you can. I mean, that's just one of the. So you officially have a shuttle, Type 6 skeleton hands, because it's kind of hard to justify a USS skeleton hands. But I thought a shuttle I can kind of get away with, so I needed a shuttle name. Thought of you, Bosch. There you go, and it's in like 10. I mean, it's in. A lot of these fan donation ones, I'm kind of, if I know you, I'm like, well, you've got to have a real appearance, and I'd rather everyone have a good appearance. But I was like, aha, he has multiple. You can see it. So I there you go. Skeleton hands, a shuttle. As weird as that is, but it's less weird than a ship.
Yeah, that's freaking great. I'm gonna have to show Sylvia that one when it comes out because I kind of coined the phrase. So
there you go. And if you're a fan of other sci-fi franchises, Stuart, you'll like the show even more. So it's got multiple levels of appeal.
I noticed that.
I'm glad you did, because it's hard to miss.
Yeah. Well, Lazarus 2 says, did you guys see the PS4 Star Trek trailer? PS4 Star Trek trailer. What do you mean?
Wouldn't it be out for PS5?
Yeah, it's out for all of them. It'll be out for the 4 and the 5, but...
Well, I mean, any game. I don't think there's a really... What game? Tell us the game!
Yes.
So we can Google it.
Olivia, though, throws in $5. I love the phrase, you hot dropped a saucer section.
Yeah.
Yes. And Charles June throws in $5.
Thank you.
Hello, Captain Commander.
Hi.
This was a great episode. I can't wait for the ship reviews. Ship reviews?
What?
Why would we do ship reviews?
Because they know. Charles knows. Charles is not new to this channel. Yes. Yeah, we had a fun video. It's already on the channel. As in, it's up. Because I'm filming again tomorrow. So it's like the CBS All Access. They released episode 5 early for everyone else in the world. Accidentally. Every week they have a problem almost. So I could release it now if I wanted to. But I'm not going to.
I'm gonna make you wait.
So I'm going to start sharing.
No, PS4 seems related to this series. What game? What are you talking about? Don't know what you're talking about, Lazarus. So, anyhow, he's sharing. So this is my chance to tell you guys. There's 82 of you here, which is awesome. There's 31 likes. Let's try to get those likes up to 50 right off the hop. I think we can do that. No problem whatsoever. Please consider hitting that like button. It's the cheapest, easiest, fastest, best way to support us, honestly. Just hitting that like button, show your support for the channel. But if you want to do what other people are doing in Super Chat, we do read them all on the air. So you get your voice out there, your opinion out there, your question out there, your concern out there. All these things addressed, all read, and immortalized forever on the internet. Well, it'd be my voice, but your words. So if you want to Super Chat in to support the channel and get your voice heard, please do so. We want to hear your thoughts on this episode. There's lots to talk about. And we're going to, of course, do a deep dive, as we always do, break it down scene by scene, detail by detail, and just have a great look. You can also support us by checking out the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Got some really cool Trekyards merch. And there's more stuff that I actually have worked on shirt-wise. It is just in the approval stages right now, so we'll see. I'll let you guys know once it's out. New shirts are on the way. So other than that... Ozzy throws in $5 and says Foley maneuver shirt off. Yeah, I'm not gonna take my shirt off. So just although that was a good segue from like the whole Teespring and TeePublic Trekyards merch, because I'm wearing one of those Trekyard shirts. This is our 2019 Vegas convention shirt. See, welcome to fabulous Vega 5. And then Trekyards, all of the Trekyards pinup ladies holding a different letter of the Trekyards logo. So if you guys are interested in a shirt like that or other shirts, please go check out the links down below. Really good stuff, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. We have a lot of fun making it, and we've got a lot of talented people working behind the scenes to give you this kind of cool stuff. So it's always fun to see them out in the wild as well, seeing somebody wearing a Trekyard shirt at a convention or whatever and coming up to us. It's happened a few times, and it's always a pleasant surprise. So, yeah. Or as Aaron Bailey has done, you can join the channel as well. There's that join button down there, and go click that. You can join at any rank. He picked Ensign, which is the lowest tier, but it all helps us on a monthly basis, and it gets your name in the fleet, and you get to be part of every video that way. And yeah, you can also do the same cheering system over on Patreon if that's your choice. Patreon/Trekyards. So go check it out if you want to join the channel.
And a real poll. My friends do it.
We have a ooh. Best episode of the season so far? Yes or nah? Go vote.
I want to ask that question. Yeah.
Silent Spaces, 10 pounds.
Thank you.
Shaw and how he brings up Picard and Riker's saucer crashes. I can see it going full circle near the end with Shaw crashing the Titan saucer into a ship or planet in a heroic moment to save them. I think he'll order it, but it'll be Crash LaForge that does the crashing. actually own the name.
Or
Yes.
she almost and avoids it at last minute and saves the crew, and you think, ah, she's gonna. Oh, she doesn't crash because she's learned. Either one is a good payoff. That's clever. Yeah, if Shaw has to go from being Mr. By the Book to Mr. Dead Go, and then that'd be a good payoff for him. The legends are convincing him, they're converting him, they make him see the ways of the hero. And then can you imagine if they get to episode 10 and then announcing the Captain Shaw Titan series, and we're all like, oh, huh, okay. There's like a trailer and everything. It's like, wow, they're just waiting for us.
Well, a lot of people are up for a Titan Shaw series, so
yeah. But you say that, but everyone asks for everything at the end of each season. There was the Rafi show, there was the so it's like, are they?
We did get the Pike show.
We did.
So.
At least it's unlikely we get the Section 31 show now. Given
she's going to be a lot more now.
Yep. I mean, she'll honestly cost more than Patrick, you'd think. Which is sad, because Patrick do it. But hey.
Jack's definitely a changeling, right? That's pretty much confirmed, I think. I don't think so. I think it's a little too obvious of a reveal. There's going to be some other link there. Either infected by them or failed experiments genetically by them.
Thing is, Waddy, or what was 00 D Black? Why is it obvious? Because I would disagree with you. So why you say obviously confirmed? Did he morph? Did he shift? Did he convert? No. If anything, Vecna is talking to him. Eleven's going to walk in and do superpowers.
Well, a lot of people have said it's very similar to Paul Wraiths when the Paul Wraiths possessed Jake. He had the red glowing eyes as well. So
were they the same? I mean, actually the same red glowing? Because there's a lot of glowing eye effects.
I know. I'm just saying. There's a lot of theories out there. So to say it's obviously there's changing, I think it's a little too obvious, and I think it's a red herring. Pardon the pun, with a red door and a red vines and red eyes. It's a red herring, I think.
Yeah. Red. Yeah, it's. Some of the stuff, it's funny, some of the stuff is super obvious, as in Worf's the handler, Jack's the son. Those things were, the bets would be, 3-1, right? But other things you wouldn't have, if we had said changelings in the show, that would have been a much further, or row. So both, they make you confident in your decision-making skills with some, and then entirely throw out the window with the other. So I do not think that's the case. I think that's just too obvious. Otherwise, there's no twist there. And
a lot of people are like, how are we going to solve this problem now that the changelings can basically be way more human and get past all the security protocols? There's one answer to that. Troy. She can sense people's emotions, sense their feelings. She'd be able to suss out... I think she's going to be able to suss out...
that's a good option.
I know. She might be useful for a change. She might be able to suss out who is a changeling and who isn't. So, give her something to do. I think that'd be great.
Well, and not just that, but they still don't have knowledge. That's still a problem. They aren't taking people's memories. And as you noticed, they only took the low-ranking officers, random security, who... How many science people are necessarily going to know the security team? They're off doing their things. Science teams work together. Science and security don't work together very much. And clearly, by the end... we're having a bit of fun here. We're just talking about the general thing. But... The way they play the last scene, it isn't, the captain's a changeling of the Intrepid. Oh no! It was clearly stated, the changelings aboard that ship are framing them, and to be framed means you have to convince somebody who's not a changeling. So, a captain would be easy to work out, because all someone have to do is, if there's a suspicion. So what's it like on Kethra 6?
Yeah.
But an instant security guy, you're not going to... So that, I think, is worth noting.
Well, Woody Black says the other changelings were acting like they knew him, and the voices in his head were saying to come home. They're saying, find me. They're saying, come home. But if you look at the subtitles, it's Beverly's voice. And once you know it's Beverly's voice, you can actually hear it in this episode. So
yeah, it sounds
like he's in a coma. You get that trope of he's in a coma, and you hear her like, come back to me from outside, is what it sounds like. So.
Oh, and Lazarus says, well, the Betazoids in Starfleet didn't notice. Yeah, but if you knew you could be detected by Betazoids, you'd stay away from them.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for security officers, you would know, you'd have access to records and you'd know how to... It's easy to avoid people, Just don't get assigned ships that have Betazoids in, etc. And what do you
There was It was the beginning of this one where it's like, I know what you are. I can see you. That one lady on the bridge, and then he sees her in the hallway later, and she looks at him. It's like,
yeah, but that's red herring-y stuff. That's a combination of.
I think so.
Look, it's the son of Captain Picard, and also he almost got us killed. And he's thinking, I'm an evil person, but that's a disconnect there.
Paranoia.
Paranoia. Well, exactly. And what do you mean the changelings knew him? They had to have a pad with his face on.
Yeah.
They didn't know him. That was kind of the point. They didn't know him. They had to.
Yeah, and 2 more beamed in, and they were like, "We're gonna, use a transport thing to get you over, transport you off the ship."
This is obviously skipping to that scene, and we'll get to it, I'm sure, in 2 hours and 10 minutes. So everyone forget. Hi, Dan.
I'm gonna note that. All right, let's see.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's important to remember that this show is being good at setting things up. It is good at that. So we've already seen a Jack versus Changeling fight, and by fight I mean Jack got his ass beat to the point of unconsciousness. It was 0 effort. He had no ability to do anything. Cut to this fight, he managed to kill 4 changelings in 10 seconds, who were also like in the security mindset versus guy who maybe he's not necessarily a security changeling, whatever. So there's the training, instinct, sleeper agent. A changeling isn't necessarily stronger than 4 changelings. There's something else there going on, etc. I said in another review, he feels to me now like he's been, designed to be anti-changeling, and that's part of why they need him. Because if you know how to fight them, that's part of it. But until it gets triggered, etc.
Yeah.
A weapon to fight. Which is a bit weird, obviously, but it's more likely because 1 changeling, why is he suddenly stronger than 4 of them, who know who they are, etc. So that disconnect there. He broke his neck. There's a sound effect, but there's no neck there, so you had to shoot him as well, which I thought was kind of funny. Neck break on the floor. Hello, dead. I was like, oh, nice. Yeah. You knew.
Brian Donaldson throws in $10.
Oh, hey.
This was definitely my favorite episode of Picard so far. It keeps getting better and better. Terry Matalas is a freaking genius. That's how you subvert expectations.
Yes.
This entire season feels Trek.
Yeah, they are doing that as well. NZ Face says, did Worf never make captain since they called him Mr. Worf? I mean, yeah, he's captain. You can see Pips later on, but it's like Mr. Spock. He's Commander Spock. Some people just call him.
I don't think he's in Starfleet right now either. He's like, Rafi was you in Starfleet? He's like, no, our goal's just the line. Consider me a subcontractor. So if they know that he's not in Starfleet, and of course they're friends with him, they'll be like, Mr. Worf. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because I assume that he probably would have known that Worf died, etc. Or didn't die, removed from Starfleet.
And Minkin 2, Species 8472, Changeling Hybrid. Yeah. Or they made the arrangement with the bluegills as well. I don't know. Because the evolution they speak of seems to be a bit of a cost, which we'll talk about when we get there. I actually have a video coming out specifically about that. Sure, they've evolved, but at what cost is the thing? And is it just them? Is it the breakaway ones? Are the Great Link ones still the Great Link with the gold shimmery look? Probably. So, yeah. All right. 157 of you here now, which is even better than before. So hit that like button, guys. We are at 69 likes. Let's try to get up to 100. We can do that very easily right now, so please hit that.
More likes! All of the likes.
And Fleet Paw throws in $2. How's your head, Stuart? It's perfectly fine. Thank you for asking.
And K-Man Raid. I'm still confused by Beverly. Didn't trust anyone in the episode 1. There's more. Well, remember that they had got attacked sort of 3 days in a row by 3 different factions. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally, because they don't just had to. They didn't just bump into Starfleet. These staff officers, they went to a random outpost to get help, and they turned on them. So if some random backwater place also turns on them, then it's widespread. If you go to Earth, there's always going to be a faction that wants to kill you, if you're famous. So it's just So therefore, random places like, damn, this spread wide. That already established, guys. It's all good. No, I mean, I think they've done a good job at showing she doesn't know anything in a good way. I mean, they're all learning as they go.
Yeah.
I didn't get any sense of Beverly being like, I'm sorry, John Luke, I should have told you the double truth. Your son is... And that's the problem, Stuart. If Jack's a changeling, it devalues every single scene with him and Picard to who cares. It's good for Patrick, for Picard, but once he meets the real son, well, let's do it again. Yep. So if you make him a changeling, literally you've ruined half the season's character development. It undoes it all.
Yeah.
Even if they... Jack's been hiding on Ventac 6. We have to go get him. And they get him, and now he runs in and says, Jack, you could maybe save it, but you have to then retime loads of episodes at the end of the season to rebuild that relationship for a second time. Or you leave it on an epic cliffhanger of, I'll get to know you, son. And we hope for more, but that'd be wasting a lot of the season. You gotta think efficient writing as well. That's because they're good writers. You gotta think good writing. Random stuff ain't happening, unlike the other seasons where let's put Picard in an interrogation chamber for an episode. Why? Shut up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not this season. So Stuart, what do you think of season 3, episode 5, The Imposters? And how does it compare in multiple viewing? Because that's now we're at where we...
It gets better and better, I think, this one. Knowing the reveal doesn't ruin it at all, any of the reveals, honestly. I think it's actually better because you can enjoy what leads up to them, and you can see the subtlety of the acting, especially from, like, Michelle, whatever her name is, that plays Ro. To, like, obviously making us think that she's a changeling, to then them sussing each other out to see whether they're both changelings, and dealing with all the emotional stuff. So they're hitting 2 points at the same time there, getting all the emotional stuff out on the table, and then also just the testing each other to make sure that they're not changelings. So that was so well played. There's such good things about this episode. Is it the best one of the season? Could be right now. I think it's up there tie-ish with me with another one. Probably episode 3, maybe 4. I can't remember. Anyway, I don't know if it's the best, but it is definitely, again, and the pacing's fantastic. The writing's good. The acting's phenomenal. We got a new ship. Can't complain about that. And it's a ship I absolutely love the design of. That Intrepid. Wow. I want that ship. I just love the profile of that thing. It looks amazing.
He'll kill 1,000 changelings for one.
Yeah, and it's named the Duderstad. It's named after wife, Doug's wife who just passed. Dave Blass, I think, changed the name of the class.
Was that her maiden name then?
Dorothy Duder was her name, and the Stod, I think, is, I don't know if that's part of her name or...
That's what I was wondering.
I don't know.
Because it's Dorothy Dudley.
It could be combined with something else. I don't know the full story on that, so if I got that wrong, I apologize. But that is the case with that. Anyway, new ship. The changing threat is real. Again, it does feel very conspiracy buggy, going up to like the upper echelon of Starfleet. And you do see Starfleet Command. You see the list, the tree graphic, and you see all the red ones, which are changelings.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Wait, what? List?
At the end, where they pull up the information, you got the Starfleet Command ranking system, like the tree, the connection tree, and you can see all the red ones, which are arguably changelings. So there's a lot of infiltration.
I sort of avoided looking at that stuff because we tend to that stuff, you and me. So do you want to say just look at all? Out there.
Yeah. And Shut's ship is based on a Wasp. Well, it's based on the Hornet class or the Wasp, which is the one that Bill Kraus made. So yes.
And then he based it off one from like the 80s in a manual, which is simple, but the idea.
Yeah, exactly. So videos coming out about all that stuff. Anyway, yes, fantastic episode. Everything about it I liked. There was very little, if anything, to really complain about. And some red herrings. I think they did the fake out a little too often with Jack shooting everybody. Like they kept reusing that trope. And it's like, it didn't actually happen. So.
Well, there's also it's the first scene. Obviously, I'll get in there in a minute. But it reminds me. There's a scene of Discovery, which is the exact same scene, and it's sad. Because it just felt like if they're in Discovery uniforms, it's a Discovery bridge. That was almost beat for beat a Discovery scene where Control walks in and massacres everybody. I just remember that very vividly.
Yeah. But then he does it in the transporter room, and it's like, that again wasn't real. It's like they need to stop doing that.
Look, Jack likes to murder in his mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Well. He likes not murder, and therefore his brain makes him murder in his mind. Yeah.
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 So overall, really enjoyed it. Yes, it gets better with each viewing, I think. It's funny, where he tells Beverly at the end, like, yeah, how did you know they were all four changelings? He says, I didn't. At that instant, when I was watching it with Sylvia, you'll appreciate this. Sylvia says, last season that would have taken 6 episodes for him to say that. At least he's smart enough to say it. And I'm like, yes. That's exactly what we said.
Yeah, exactly. The idea of pacing, like, it makes sense that they would move at that pace.
Yeah.
And it leads into the next possible instant jump in and jump offing point? No, not offing.
Jumping off point.
There you go. Words. All words.
Anyway, that's it for me. I think it was fantastic, and I'm looking forward to reviewing it and seeing if it changes any when we look at it under a microscope, as it were. Yeah. So,
a 3-hour microscope.
How about you? What do you think of it?
So I'm very glad I didn't get spoiled, because Discovery season 1, I saw the Enterprise reveal early. Other little bits here and there. I tried not to, but if you send me stuff, you wonderful people. It's like, could you not wait 24 hours? I know you're excited, but don't send me a picture. What do you think of this? It's like, it's 8 a.m. Stop. So I don't even turn my internet on my phone. I wake up, find the episode, watch it, and then suddenly I have the internet. It's a very weird way of living. So that was good, because I think if you did know it, it would feel like an episode of TV, but not knowing, it's a wall, your face goes into a glass wall of like, what? Because obviously it isn't just what it is, which is, yay, a famous TNG actor come back to play a role. It's also, we can bring back anybody. That's what it's testament, because other seasons they avoided bringing people back. It was all about the new cast. But it's this creator knowing that these characters' legacy, unfortunately, are in the last 40 years. So rather than developing new characters, lots of them, let's say, well, we already have all this legacy to pull from, which all the scenes suddenly have a tremendous weight. Let's pick a couple, hopefully a couple, bring them in, and all the scenes now have all of this oomph, which, I'm sorry, a Rafi and Elnor scene have so little weight, it's ridiculous. And yes, you could argue it's a crutch of the old stuff, but you've got decades of canon. It was such a satisfying, even a second watch, like knowing all the nuance of the performance, like really look at her performance was very good. So yeah, I think for me, easily the best of the season, and my score will reflect that, because unlike the other ones, there's always something that I was like, or This one, almost every moment had a canon, era, character, legacy weight to it. It all meant something, either added to the past, added to the present, added to the future, or teased the future. Almost nothing was just there, right? There wasn't just a Rafi and Worf just talking scene. Everything there was one of those, but for the most part, it was all moving forward, right? That's important. And if that had been some other officer, it would have been a fine episode, but to have the choice and to be so raw was very, very good. And I mean, Patrick, best acting of the season so far? Besides the Beverly stuff, but I mean, he could say more. Because in Beverly scenes, he was listening more than talking. He was reacting with single words. He's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Gonna keep fucking you. Whereas Beverly's
then bringing back Ro was awesome. Like you said, you bring back anybody, but it's also somebody that means a lot to Picard. At least it impacted his life quite a bit. So yes, that playing back and forth, that scene, like I said, was fantastic. So yeah, great acting. And
we had just got to the Ro stuff in our TNG review, so I only remember the first 2 appearances. I feel like she fizzled out as a character because they didn't know what to do with her, because obviously they're not serialized content. So they had a lot, but they obviously stopped and let her go, and then led to DS9 and she didn't come back. So there we go. And so to come in and also having, as I said in our other review, nothing happened in between for him. Normally, you'd had a situation where 20 years have passed and we went on the Veltac mission and the Sarantic mission and the Gore's betrayal, skew, blah, 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 whatever. Oh no, we saw the exact moment he saw her last. We felt those emotions in 1989, whatever. And now we're jumping in. As he said, I've waited decades for this, because he never had anything else. And as you had said in our other thing, you would think he would have maybe Googled her at some point and either worked out she's in prison, not in prison, something. So he also obviously wasn't that bothered, because he never once Googled her.
You say that, but then he says, I've been practicing the speech for 30 years. The one that he wanted to say to her.
Yeah.
And he does his perfect, like, Bajoran.
But he thought she was in prison or dead.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't always check up on her at all. At least practically. But it's more a case of this giant wound I don't even think he really thought about for 20 years. And combined with Vadik, the sun, being there now, it's if any other day he would have been like, "Rrr." But because it's all of it together, you get this really raw performance that is absolutely what the scene needed, or the scenes needed.
And we get that payoff with Riker too, where he says, I'm sorry, John, like, I know what you meant to you. He's like, did you? Because I don't think you do, because I didn't realize it until just now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes. Yeah.
Especially as he's now come to terms with, you know, I could have had a family 20 years ago, oops, but Beverly thought I wasn't right. Last year, obviously, I couldn't find a girlfriend apart from that. My friends I sort of didn't talk to for a long time. I was on a vineyard for a long time. So reminding us of another person who we had an emotional connection with that also failed / betrayed / didn't work. All of a sudden, it's right in his face again. Another person he's failed. Because, you know, is the context maybe that he could have fancied her in a different life? You know, because they were close in weird ways. Who knows? You know, or been a mentor and been the second in command, taken on from Riker. There's all... I don't know what the scene was meant to tell us, because he hasn't got that many episodes. He didn't mentor her that much, right? But there's all this extra, well, maybe he saw, you're the protege I never had, and then he lost it, he never had another one. Obviously, Riker being, you know, as we've said many a time, Riker was already ready for captain in season 1. There's a scene about it. So he's on Enterprise for experience, not because he needs it necessarily. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Well, we got some super chats to get to. So
excellent.
Let's close real quick. Good Tea, Nice House throws in $5.50 Canadian.
Thank you.
I think Jack has Borg nanoprobes, which inherited down from human Picard. But Borg Queen cannot reach remnants of Locutus anymore and must go through Jack. That's an interesting idea. Because Picard's in the golem body now, so he doesn't have any Locutusness in him. Mm-hmm. She might have lost the Borg Queen sense that loss of something, and it's like trying to reach out, and that's the closest she can find right now. That would make a lot of sense. I like that.
It doesn't vibe Borg to me.
It doesn't, but it's a great theory. That could be definitely a.
But we just did Borg in season 2 though, and it feels like that's an odd thing to jump back to. And
season 1.
Oh, and season. Yes.
It would be like the overarching theme of the series.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Anyhow, CJ O'Neill throws in $20. Thank you so much. Only complaints I have for this season is that it's almost too condensed. Only 10 episodes. These last 5 episodes could have easily been 10 plus episodes on their own. Then you get the problem of season 2 had, where they stretch a really good idea over too many episodes. So
I think if anything, this should have been 4 episodes.
Yeah, I know why you say that.
Like cut down the Nebula by 15 minutes, cut down the Rafi and Worf for 15 minutes, and cut down something else by 10 minutes. Boom.
Yeah.
If anything, there's not enough story in here. Do you really want 7 episodes of Nebula? Really? Or 8? 6? No, I disagree. Yeah. No offense.
Yeah. Bradley Thomas throws in $5.
Thank you.
I hate when other YouTube channels post spoiler images on their thumbnails on the day the episode drops. On the day the episode drops, yes. But sometimes with with YouTube being YouTube and us having to do our jobs, have to strike when the anvil's hot, and so sometimes some things get spoiled for people a day or so afterwards. Never on the day of. I would never do that. But
I mean, we always avoid.
That's a tough line to walk.
I mean, we always try not to as much as possible, actively to the detriment of our channel.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't but I mean a YouTube channel, they might, if they get 3 times the views as us for putting Ro in the thumbnail, they get 3 times the views, 3 times the money, and then in 2 weeks people have forgotten that they're angry with them, and they've just got all the money, and who cares? From their perspective, potentially, they've won the algorithm war. Whereas we have to sort of be cagey, if we want to talk about Ro, or we can't, like, how do you promote that fully? Because we do want to get views, we want people to see our opinions. So it's a and also you got to factor that, there is 2 days of release. There is the original day, and there's the rest of the world. So you should never put spoilers in the first 48 hours. Yeah. And then, just to be fair to people, wait until Saturday at the very earliest, because if you've got a job with kids, you might be able to watch it till the weekend. So at the very least, you should be not spoiling anything until Saturday or Sunday.
Like Monday.
Really, Monday. Really, like actual hardcore spoilers. If you're being really fair. But then again, by Monday, let's be honest, guys, you're already thinking the next episode's coming out soon.
The interest has waned. You're back to work.
You're not thinking about it.
You're watching. Yeah.
So why else make videos? But today's thumbnail is very unspoilery. I was quite careful. It's got Shaw, it's got red eyes, and that doesn't tell you anything. And it's got Picard. He's holding a phaser, but that doesn't tell you much either. So I was quite careful with that.
Sean O'Sullivan, €2. No Chakotay mention from Ro.
No.
No. Why would there be a Chakotay reference?
Well, I mean, but they were in different eras of the Maquis. I mean, I guess, yeah, but
I never got the sense they met ever. So.
Oh no, they did. They didn't. I'm saying he was in the Maquis years earlier. She was in the Maquis years later than the massacre. He came back. Would he look out for the lady in prison who was in the Maquis? Check cell block 7. They're all from the Maquis. I mean, Rose, no one special. No offense. At least early on, then she gets higher the ranks. But
Eric Skelton, $10. A YouTube Trek fan uploaded the scene where Lo Laren arrives on Titan only 2 hours after the episode dropped. Then they titled it Lo Laren Arrives. Completely spoiled the surprise for me. Wow. See, that's the problem.
Yeah, horrible. Matthew DeFridas says, yeah, no offense, but if you give zero cracks about spoilers, if you love something enough you'll find a way to watch it, or you'll find a way to ignore spoilers. That's very close-minded.
Very hard to do with today's media the way it is too.
I mean, I saw certainly someone on Twitter posting it and then them getting dogpiled for saying, why are you spoiling this? Because they put #spoiler under the image, and it's like, you prick. That does nothing. Like, there should be a way of putting it, a spoiler, and then it's blanked out, comes back in. I mean, if you've got family and kids, I mean, what if you've had a 10-hour work day and your wife's like, go to the store. You go to the store, it's now 2 a.m, you get back. Are you really going to be in the best frame of mind to watch Picard episode 5? And then you check your phone, oh no, but it's spoiled for me, because, I mean, that's really heartless, honestly.
You can't even look at your notifications on your phone, because it's like, one might be a Twitter notification saying, Ro Laren in the title of it, and it's like, just seeing the notification without clicking it, you're like, oh, for sakes.
Yeah. I mean, either you avoid the internet, or you close out, because our job is literally, day job is to do this. So as soon as you woke up, you watched it. Same with me. So a bit of advantage there, because I can go to sleep. I go to sleep before it comes out in America, so I can't be spoiled before I go to bed. And I wake up, I just don't check the internet. So I'm relatively lucky, but it's yeah.
Well, let's get into the episode, shall we?
Yes, sir. So it starts with a gentle little massacre. No biggie. Now, how much?
I like all the talk that's going on in the background, though, of the ship getting back into shape.
Yeah.
They're like, get one of the drones to extract some samples of the nebula from the hull.
Didn't even hear that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, did you buy massacring the entire bridge crew for even a second?
No.
Good. Well, good for them. They get to play a death scene, each of them. They get shot by CGI phasers. And obviously, I cared about them way more than Discovery crew members, even after... I mean, I like Awashkum because we like the actress, but I cared more in this scene, watch them all get gunned down, than I do for the Discovery team, who also have all been gunned down before.
And I love that he keeps using his old phaser. Like, he doesn't use one of the new phasers. I love this phaser, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The more I see it, the more I want one.
Yeah. Well, that's them double bluffing us with, oh, it must be real. He's got his phaser. That's a way of convincing us, because obviously it's a high mountain to start climbing. Of, we're just going to kill the entire bridge crew. No, seriously, we are. No, we're not. So if you throw in his own phaser, then he could have hidden it, and there's more logic there. But I loved seeing him in uniform. That was great. Just in general, I mean, anyone in uniform tends to just fit better into the world, and it was just really nice to see. I hope he continues, because he looks great. And it's crisp, and
The Galaxy's Thumb, though, says, love these episode breakdowns. Well, thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying them.
Thank you.
And Bradley Thomas throws in $5. At least they put the guest starring at the end of the episode.
Thanks, Matthew. We appreciate you too.
Yeah, that always helps. You know, when you see an actor's name they can recognize, you're like, oh.
And if you want to be a set builder, great overall giant shot of the bridge, just for good reference there. And I really did like I know we saw in the trailer, but it looks a lot nicer. The effect over a face, that's a very good motion track, because that's obviously that's a 3D effect of a face, really really well done. Oh, we can see her zip. Ha! Space zips. When she's like, you can see the zip on the left.
And she says, "I know what you really are."
Yes.
And he cries and shoots her.
I love his acting. He has a lot of just face acting without any words. All the time he's acting. But really, really, because I've used this for my directing as well. You have it of what's your physical acting and what's behind the eyes. Tell us the inner story. All you have is your eyes, because something else is doing something to you. I love that sort of acting, because you just, physicality. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love it. It's good stuff. It's very good stuff.
Then we see him standing there holding his phaser, and he drops it. And I'm like, that's when the phaser broke. You see pictures of it on the cruise that the tip is angled up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because it's straight there, and he's holding it down.
Yeah, take 4. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. But
and then then it says actually in the sub chat in the subtitles, it says Beverly's voice. Beverly's voice echoing indistinctly.
Yes. Boy, spoilery subtitles. But then, obviously, question: why is this person getting treed?
Don't know.
Because that certainly, for the first time, did give me 8472 vibes. People have shown parallel to Harry Kim, very similar. I mean, if you were going to go for a Voyager crossover, the Changelings could very well ask 8472 for help. Help us massacre the Quadrant. Okay, sweet. And they're organic. I now have that's a possibility. And maybe he, has knowledge of that. But yeah, I can definitely see them now putting it in. Especially as you can do full CG 8472 aliens and be very impressive. And also, Stuart, they're also changelings.
Yeah.
So, double changelings. I mean, it really is a match made in heaven if you think about it. And they're really freaking powerful. And what if, right at the end of the season, you got all of the Federation fleet and a bio tear opens and an 8472 planet killer comes out and just blows, just massacres, beams away like a 500 ships, and we're like, huh, burn Mark 1. It's like, yeah, you just killed everybody. What do you think?
About the 8472
Yeah, because it's very, very similar visual.
It is, I guess. I don't want the 8472 coming back in this, personally. Okay. But
too many villains.
It's interesting.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
What's that?
Too many villains. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, don't want to complicate things, and I don't know what they're going for here yet. Right now, I like the way it's going. I don't want it to be like, well, the Bluegills and the breakout faction of the Changelings and the Spaces 8472, they had a conference, and they decided that they were going to take over the Alpha Quadrant. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Just an average Thursday, Stuart.
Right.
But S2 Hulk says, why is no one talking about the Iconians? Because there's no Iconian hints. I mean, there's a red door, but their doorways weren't red, nor that shape. Why would it be Iconians? There's no...
the portal tech, so people brought that up, but...
It's not Iconian portals.
I know.
Clearly.
I know.
You know.
I was there. Yeah, anyhow.
Oh, NZ don't even joke about that. Don't even joke about that. It's a terrible scene.
Then the subtitles are going to say more. Beverly, Jack, come home.
Yeah, but I think that's whoever the real bad is plugging into
her voice.
Yeah. Because she's the only person he trusts, so you would use that as a red herring to do that. Yeah, but I like the effect. Well, I wonder...
the red eye effect is great. It's very well done.
And also to deliberately out of focus your own CG effect to make it blend is very difficult, because that's, and it very looks like a in this shot, which obviously is a beautiful close up, is very much like a star eclipse. I wonder if that's thematic.
Could be.
Very Frontier Day, they'll blot out the sun.
Mm.
But speaking of blotting,
a lot of people have been making links to red matter. The red matter was stolen. It's the weapon, and that's what all the red indications are.
I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world.
I wonder if Terry Matalas is a fan of Sixth Sense. Because the Sixth Sense, if you go back and watch that, every time there's red in the movie, that's a hint that he's dead. So. Yeah, and you go back and watch it knowing that context, it's interesting to rewatch the movie.
Yeah.
So if we go back and watch the season knowing the context later, it'll be interesting to see if that has any kind of play. So
yeah, yeah, for sure. Next shot though, they're fixing the ship. The Voyager shot we never got. Now, are these dots basically? I assume they're just dots.
They did say drones in the last.
Yeah.
The thing that you didn't hear. Use a drone to extract some of the nebula stuff out of the crevices of the ship. I just like to think that it's both a combination of drone technology, not dots necessarily, but drones and people on the hull. It looks really cool. It was a fantastic shot.
Because I would bet you $10 they're just the dots from Discovery season 1 or 2, because you can't tell, and therefore they're close enough, because they look very similar. Not the new ones.
If you zoom in, they got the same shapes, and there's one above the far nacelle that's firing like a red beam.
Yeah.
And yeah, it looks very similar to that.
No, I'm not saying it's canon in the sense that these things. It's just that they already reuse the work bee in episode 1 just for something to happen. And so why would they design a new dot when obviously the VFX were saying we've got 2 of them, and so far who can tell?
In the distance, yeah.
I obviously wish it just been like 7 work bees instead, because it just pisses me off drone tech. Doesn't feel Trek to me. Yeah. Because it just takes all the effort out of repairing a ship. I mean, if Voyager had this, shut the fuck up about they can't repair the ship every week. If they have this every week, they're fine. So shut up.
I have no problem thinking that a ship from this era has this new technology. I just hate that they did put it on Voyager, and also the Enterprise back then, like bullshit.
Well, yeah, because if Discovery is to be believed, this tech is 300 years old. And yet never seen once in between. But it is a great shot. And I absolutely believe they did it this far away so we couldn't tell what they were. Because then it gets them out of jail what they actually really are. It's a good shot though.
Jasper Jetta, I remember for 11 months at the rank of lieutenant.
Hey? Oh, wow.
Wait.
What?
This does give 8472 vibes. Maybe genetically modifying changelings with 8472. Could be, yes.
Very possible. Yeah. Even just like they offered help and didn't come to our quadrant. I mean, very possible at this point. Yeah.
Good T Nice House, 550.
Thank
you. Samuel cracked the code, 8472 plus Changeling Alliance. All the more reason why Jack has Borg nanoprobes and must be eliminated by Vadic.
So it's an 8472 Borg Changeling hybrid.
Perfect. With a bluegill in his neck.
No, in his butt. Have you seen him poo yet?
Say? Butt bugs.
Butt bugs.
And Misha is here with $10.
Thank you.
Their dots. Cap loves it. I only love my dot. I don't know what you all about, but
I just don't want to have to invent bloody dots, put in Trek shorts, and have a shot where they're fixing a hull. It piss me off,
You don't have to. But
I know, but this feels like real Trek, so they're canon now, just like mobile emitters. All right, I could use them now.
In this era, that's fine. From this era, ships on, that's fine.
Anyway,
no problem.
But we have a great scene with 3 great characters. It's fun, it's funny, it's light. Picard's great, Riker's great. I love the fact that new director, we've now got Picard with his open jacket. Clearly a choice to make him just feel different. I love it. And you can tell it's directed differently. The vibe of the episode is distinctly different. What happens, Stuart?
Basically, they hand over the security codes back to Shaw. And Shaw's like, hey, I already contacted Starfleet. They're on their way, guys. By the way, 7, do you want to be stated or uninstated when they show up? Reinstated is. Okay, well, I hereby reinstate you. And then, I love Shaw, because this is something that I would say. Look, out of courtesy for shit we've gone through, I'm going to step out of the room so the three of you can get your bullshit story straight. Bye. Fantastic scene. Well played and well written and just fun. I think Shaw's great in this. Still a bit of a dick, but you know.
It's just smartly written.
Yeah.
And considering if this had been 6 months ago, and if Jerry Ryan had done a good job as Seven with good writing, you'd say, wow, 3 heavy hitters and this new captain, will he stand out with them? And held up. Yep, he holds his own very well. Because I tweeted Todd actually this because I thought it was worth saying, for me anyway, that the fact is, you really feel development in 5 episodes, and 2 of which he was very, very ill. In so much the nuance of the acting. His body language, his eyes, the tightness of his muscles, every episode his acting's changed distinctly. In this, he's so much softer, as you said, still the arsehole, but with the earned camaraderie of we survived almost death together. And everyone was convinced. I love the nuance, the fact that, yeah, you are legends, love you guys, screw you. Now to, you are legends, we survived, screw you, but I'm going to give you 5 minutes so you might be able to get out of it. Really good. And you can absolutely sense that by the end, he'll give up everything to help them, but it feels like a truly natural evolution, which is hella thing to do. Seriously. Yep. And
he's going to go out on a limb and risk his ship.
Yep.
And he's also going to
back
give us the satisfaction of hearing him say Commander 7 or something.
And not just that, but you know, people obviously reacted to him based on his words, his thoughts, his comments. Already way more likable. This one episode gave him a totally different streak to him. And you look at 3-dimensional people. I mean, if you want to actually create a character, this is how you do a new character. And it makes me sorry for Giorgio, who's given such trash in season 1, no offense, as the first captain. And then, you know, the list goes on for all the new Trek. I mean, Rios, because the actor's charismatic, but that's really all was going for him. Like, really. Not the writing. Yeah. This guy owned it in 5. Hell of a thing. And yeah, the demotion, the do you want to be commissioned, uncommissioned? Genuine laugh out loud for me. Really funny. You buy it, love it. And the fact that it's so fickle, like it did even put in the log. Does it even matter? Like
it was never officially decommissioned.
Yeah, but they both respect the rules so thoroughly that it does mean something for them. I was kind of waiting for when you said, well, you have the command codes, kind of expecting him to say, thank you much, Captain Riker. Computer, lock him out of all access, lock the brig, beam me out, and then like something really elaborate, you know, like he's now lost control. But I thought it was great the way it played. And the fact that Picard's like, I'll take all the blame, guys. Hey, it's all good.
Yes.
All good. Because they've done this a lot. This sort of reckless thing, done it a lot. I mean, if he can get out of the Baku situation, as we hear later, he can get out of anything. But yeah, really top-notch scene. Very well done.
Bradley Thomas, though, with $5. Jack is being transformed into a Tarkanian 3 alien.
Okay.
Don't know what that means, but thank you so much.
Yes. All I can say is yes.
All right, so yeah, then he meets up with Beverly and Jack in the hallway and says, I'm going to take the blame for all of this, but no matter what happens, I want you guys to be both of you be a part of my life. So then she asks permission to check out the changeling's body, the dead body that they have in sickbay. And he's like, yes, please do that, because it's important. Then he goes on to say, Jack, you know, and a lot of people think this is a reference to Prodigy, because he says, you know, Starfleet's accepted a lot of renegades and rogues in its time. Do you think you might be interested in joining Starfleet, essentially? And he's like, for a smart man, you really haven't been paying attention. It's just not my thing. And Picard's like, oh, of course, that's fair. So a lot of people thought that was a reference to Prodigy and the kids getting in, which I think is a nice little nod to it, and I have no problem with that. So,
although somehow I doubt Tarim Taylor saw Prodigy season 1 episode 20 before he wrote this a year ago.
Well, he's been talking with Aaron for a long time. I've been talking to Aaron about that, and Aaron's read all the scripts. He's chose not to watch the show, but he has read all the scripts.
Aaron's not watching the show?
He's watching the show, but he didn't watch it beforehand. He's watching as it comes out.
Oh, that's why
he's read all the scripts ahead of time, so he knows what happens, but he didn't want to spoil it with any visuals or anything. So
right. Okay.
It's kind of having your cake and eating it too. That's something I would like to do with the scripts.
It's like there's no reveals, but also you get to see how it's finalized. And this is
he says, many a rebel from all reaches of the galaxy have found their way to Starfleet. And a lot of people are getting a reference to Prodigy, which I think is funny and kind of cool. So
I think it's more just the everything, because Ro was a rebel, Chakotay was a rebel, Paris was a rebel. I think it's just a general statement. I don't think it's Prodigy. I know Terry doesn't.
But I like to think that it references.
Oh, sure. I know Terry doesn't necessarily watch the animated in the same way, so I wouldn't put money on that. Yes, he should. But it's a nice scene, and this is the first scene we've had a family unit without life and death. This is the first time they're a family. So that was nice.
And going back to one of our discussions from one of the other lives, these in fact are not windows in the hallway. I thought they looked like it from some angles, but then you see it's just lighting because there's stuff behind them. So, and BJ Tehran throws in $5 for Samuel's kind comment on Giorgio. I thought Yo could have been a great Starfleet captain with better writing and direction in Disco. Yeah, I totally agree.
That's everything in Discovery. Better writing. She's a fine actress, but you can't say that Giorgio, the Starfleet captain, was given any good dialogue really at all in her one episode and one flashback part. She was only ever the mirror one. Fine actor, just not given any good stuff. Not her fault. But no, it's a really good scene, and you're certainly obviously the audience wondering, will Jack, won't Jack? Are we implying episode 10 will be the next generation will be Jack in Starfleet and him in the uniforms teasing us? And maybe, yes. But also you felt Picard's disappointment, because obviously if Jack went Starfleet, they could hang out more organically than Jack suddenly. Because I can tell, Picard might be more Starfleet inclined in his later years now that season 1 writer's not writing him. That's all it took. And then, how do you hang out with your son if he's doing medical missions 100 light years away? Kind of harder to do. So, but it's nice. Underplayed, but it builds up there. Because you got to remember, early, obviously, he's like, I don't need to know you, and I'm going to storm off because you don't want to know me. Although, actually, this has surely got to work towards my idea last episode that Picard didn't look at Jack and think, you're that kid that from 5 years ago that I saw once, because we haven't had any resolution to that. So that, I think, proves that he didn't remember him from that scene. Otherwise, that certainly would have been the dialogue. Because that's very important, you'd think.
One C626 says new poll. I think it's probably time for a new poll.
Yes.
278 votes on this one.
Beautiful.
Best episode of the season so far. Yes wins with 75%. And 25% say nah. So do a new poll, and while you're doing that, I'll talk to the 269 people that are here. Thank you all for joining us, by the way. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell icon so you don't miss anything, and consider joining the channel as well. But in the meantime, do the simplest thing you can do to support the channel, and that is hit that like button. We're at 148 likes with 266 people here right now. I think we can definitely get up to 200 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't done so, or if you're just joining us. We would really appreciate that. Let's see if we can get that 200 likes. You can be part of that. Go now, hit the like button and do that. Dave puts in £2 and says, seeing a lot of Pa Wraith chatter regarding Jack. Yes, a lot of people are kind of latched onto that. I think it just takes one or two tweets, and then it just gets spread around, and that's kind of the thing you're seeing about that. And SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5. I think those are windows just with the blast shutters down. Sure, that's fine, but why are they on both sides of a hallway where there's nowhere on the ship that could possibly be existing?
Every hallway.
Yes, that's the other thing. And if you look at the exterior shots of the ship, there's nowhere that there's that many windows. That's that many small windows all in a row. So
because you understand externally what they have to be like, a single walkway above, above the ship to have a view. I mean, Discovery has one of that, and it's literally the things in between the circles. That's the only ship in all of Trek history has a corridor walkway for no reason, because there was a reason for that. You don't have that ever, so that pretty much impossible they could be that.
Yeah. Plus, not every goddamn window needs a blast shutter. There's a thing in the future called force fields. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Have you seen First Contact, Lily?
Or have you heard when the hull gets compromised, the force field goes up? Or Prodigy, the window in the bridge got shattered. Force field went up, and then replicator tech went into effect and actually replaced the window. So not everything needs fucking blast shields. This is not Star Wars. Blast shields in Star Wars, 100%, yes. Star Trek, hate the idea. Misha, member for 30 months at the rank of lieutenant. Thank you very much, Misha. Peanut is secretly a changeling. Borg 8472 hybrid sleeper agent. Well, it's a pretty powerful little dog. You gotta be nice to Peanut then, Misha.
Just don't get her hamper, okay?
Yes, please do not put Peanut in a hamper. That is the worst combination of words you could possibly ever come up with. It is not mathematically perfect in any way.
Stuart, read the poll.
Ooh, we got a new poll. Let's see what the poll is. How did you feel seeing Commander Ro? Wow, that was a big thing. Spoiled for me. It's okay. Didn't faze me. I never liked her. See, my answer would be like 3 of those things. Never liked her. Didn't faze me. But no, it was a pretty cool thing.
Gosh, yes.
Big thing.
Anyway, so yeah, good scene, great scene. Yes, the weird thing with the changeling, maybe or not, we don't know. Then we get back to the. I was so hoping, Stuart, that back on Worf and Rafi, that we would cut to them walking up to the cockpit and they were at warp and they dropped out when they're there, because spending time sparring is not using time wisely, you'd think, unless you were at warp. No, they're just sparring. I mean, they're waiting for the contact, but they're just sparring, and I was like, oh. Now, obviously, there's a reason why they don't go to Daystrom. It works by the second time around by a long way, but first time, like, oh, you're still here. You're still goddamn here.
Their banter back and forth is pretty good, and then when she actually starts going full on him, and he just one-handed with the Klingon music, it's like, yes, beautiful.
I mean, he is significantly older, wiser, and stronger than her, so she would not be able to win this. But that's the great thing. This scene becomes a payoff and a setup. It's a payoff to their chemistry and his character, but also set up the fact that he can win relatively easily. How did she win later? It's clever. It's good, because he's much better at this than her. Obviously, it's good.
But they get an incoming transmission from his handler after 24 hours of waiting, which is basically, yes, they're denied their request to go to Daystrom Station. And Rafi gets all uppity, and anyway, Worf's like, it must be somebody above my handler that's dictating that, because that's kind of a weird choice. But yeah, then yeah, Worf says we're standing down, and she's like, you know what I've compromised or what I sacrificed for this mission? And he freaks out, throws the knife in the floor. Do not assume to know what I sacrificed for this mission. And her response, this was well played. In seasons 1 or 2 of this, it would have been like, she would have been all huffy and rah, rah, rah. And this one is just like, can you please not put holes in my floor every time you want to make a point?
It does come across as over dramatic, and that's obviously the point. So
yes, it was really well done, though.
That's the joke within a joke, yeah.
Yeah, I expected not to like that scene, and I really enjoyed it. So they also go on to get the explanation that Daystrom Station is guarded by a sophisticated AI system. You made the assumption that it might be Lore. A lot of people have made the assumption it might be Moriarty's program that is the AI system. Who knows? I think either one of those is sketchy to do. Why would you pull Moriarty out of his little dream hollow cube thing to be a security system? And also, why would you hook Lore, who's evil, to your security system? It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, he was evil, but he wasn't always evil. Misunderstood. You know, look, someone that handsome, Stuart. You know, someone that handsome.
They even point out the stupidity of what you pointed out at the time. Well, Sneed would have the answer. Ah, you cut his head off now, didn't you? To save your life. You know, somebody who disobeyed an order. Anyway, that was kind of cool. So they find another guy, his buddy, Krim.
His brother, Stuart. Brother.
We don't find that out yet. Yeah. But
well, fuck me then, Stuart.
Philip Gaming, who's been talking to us for a while, said he was in one of these scenes. This is the scene he was in, the fight scene. He's one of the Vulcan henchmen. I'll send you a picture of him in his makeup, Samuel. By Worf. What a great thing to be able to say as an actor that you got killed by Worf. His goal was always to be on Star Trek. He was hoping it would be a speaking role. It wasn't, but
it was just a dying role.
You on Facebook if you want to check it out.
Sure.
So you can see which one is him.
Absolutely.
We got some super chats.
I'm super thankful.
Right. Let's see. Misha throws in $10 and says, "I just want to know how Ro survived being killed by that Cylon."
Magic.
And Samuel says, "Hey, Samuel, $10.
Yes, Jim.
Hot take.
What do I say?
He said, "Hot take.
Oh.
I don't like the Titan A. Design itself is fine, but how many fucking constitutions do we need?" Well, it's not a constitution. It's whatever. Anyway, can we get an original design for once? The Galaxy, Intrepid, Defiant, Stargazer, and Prometheus were all very different designs that expanded Starship design language and enriched the lore. I want more of that. So tired of the reskin nostalgia bukkake that we are getting. Wow. Science fiction is the ultimate sandbox for writers and artists. If you don't have an imagination, then get the fuck out. Go work for Battlefield Earth sequel and other clowns. Wow. You made a point there. Bill's designs are quite innovative and unique. I think I understand the going back to the retro design starships is quite interesting, and a lot of people don't like that. But Terry wanted to make this feel like coming home almost to Star Trek, so that's why he decided to make the ships have that retro feel. And he was quite disappointed when they released the first trailer, and everybody was freaking out saying the ship looks too old. He wanted them to have that feel. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I get it. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like
it's also from when we've seen the Shangri-La for like 6 years. So when we saw the trailer, we're like, "Oh, they're doing that." Except, like, it wasn't a big, there isn't that same visceral reaction because, oh, okay. Having talked to Terry, I mean, it was his vision, his idea. Moving on, often it's the simple as that. I mean, obviously, I think most fans would like a bit of a different paint scheme, but it's good emotion. And it looks nice. It doesn't fit, but it looks nice.
And Lazarus 2 says, "Isn't it a Titan A Constitution Class 3? Yes, it is, but that's the stupidest fucking name for a starship class I've ever heard. Constitution Class 3. That was just a cop-out, I think. Don't get me started on that.
Well, and
it should not have been a Class 2 and a Class
especially 3. As, then by that, there is a USS Constitution 3. There has to be. That's what happens when you do a new class. It's always happened.
Used to be how it was. Now it's like, oh, we're just gonna...
Yeah, I still think that has to be the case.
That doesn't make any sense, though. There's no way there'd be a ship named Constitution 2.
Stuart, there was Excelsior 2. So yes, there can be.
Oh, well, that was just the class, though. It was still the Excelsior. It didn't say Excelsior 2.
No, it was the Excelsior 2.
Excelsior.
Was it?
Excelsior? No, it didn't say Excelsior 2 on the hull.
Was it not?
I don't think so.
Oh, I feel like it was the Excelsior 2.
If it is, then okay, then there's a precedent for it, and you can see Constitution 2. That's just fucking stupid, in my opinion.
But at least it was Excelsior 2 class, and then the Volcani 3 class certainly lines up more. So it was pre-established a bit.
It's just taking the old class and upgrading it, so I can understand them saying,
yeah.
I mean, I'll put the term Constitution 2 class, but I still hate it.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
No.
But anyway, that was the things that we have discussion many a time already.
Yeah.
But thank you for $30. That is incredible. Thank you. Really helpful.
Yes, thank you for all the super chats.
May to the zing.
And such a name with a lot of power and gravitas behind it. You make your point, solidified.
There's double the weight.
Yeah.
On this channel, anyway. Are you done with the scene? Can I jump in?
Yeah. Hold on. Merla says you rather have the Neo Constitution or the Constitution 2. Neither. They fucking both suck. So don't get me started on it. Just come up with a new class name.
Yep.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so the handler stuff's good. I assume that he's wrong that it was Ro that said this, because she knows you've got to skip Daystrom because you can't get there yet. I need you to get I can't tell you this for some reason, but the answer to getting into Daystrom is here. If you go to Daystrom now, you'll get screwed. So I'm assuming it was Ro, because if you go someone higher than Ro, then were they actually saying to stop? Because as Worf says, they still want us to keep going, and the answer is on this planet. So it feels a bit too logical for me to not be Ro.
I think that's implied, though, with what she says later. Like, I tried talking to Janeway. I tried talking to Commodore Roll, or whatever his name was. I can't get by their gatekeepers. So if you can, that's cool, but I couldn't. So it seems like she was trying to talk to the higher-ups, so that a higher-up could have given her an order to just not allow this to continue. So either way, I think it works.
But they're her assets, though. She is the one making this mission happen.
True, but
and the fact that Rafi is so off the books, it feels like, if you pick her, things are going to get done, but also in a screwy way. But anyway, yeah, and I love Worf's reaction. He's like, huh. Right. And considering he knew obviously Ro, we assume worked with her for months, if not years, shows a respect level there. I like the Daystrom stuff, that's fun. I like the Worf throwing us out, that's fun. What he sacrificed, I'm kind of assuming that'll be either Alexander or the other kid reference. That'll be what he sacrificed. Some level of like, I haven't seen my child in 4 years.
I hope so, because otherwise it's like...
But you know what I mean? Like that sort of what I've sacrificed. Like that wasn't just an all time. That was this one mission. And what she's implying is sacrifice is way more than the average person. So I just thought that he's a man that does speak in certain clarity, and so to say that was like, oh, actually something real. And so just mention Alexander, I've missed 4 of his birthdays, and I missed all of them growing up, so they're all important now. And Jeremy Astor, who, the last of the House of Morg, I just never told him it was disbanded.
You remember that lady that was under my command on the away mission that died? Yes, her son. Yes.
Remember Ro? Remember Jeremy Astor? Yes. And yet got
deep cut legacy characters.
Yes. But I like Daystrom, sort of. I like Worf there. Morn. Morn and Brunt are associates, dear me. Thadium O'Connor of Omega. I assume that's the outrageous O'Connor. Seems Thadium. So, so now he's been Lower Decks, Prodigy, and Picard.
He gets... Yeah. He's probably one of the only characters that can say he's been in all of them. So, I mean, that's awesome.
And TNG. But it also means he can't be dead. So now we know he survives Prodigy, unless they didn't know this reference was happening. They kill him in Prodigy. Wouldn't it be great if they kill him in Lower Decks and in Prodigy and no one speaks to each other? And they reference him here. It's like, but he's been dead 6 years.
The one that died in Prodigy was just a changeling.
Yes.
Took the form and just liked it.
The first changeling. Mega retcon. But yes, Kryn. I love how they've clearly overdubbed this last little bit. If you guys watch it again, the editing is really bad, because I think they realised we didn't probably explain him. So let's re-add a bit of explanation, because the way they cut it, it's this new graphic, and then Worf turns, Rafi's like, and it's clearly just stuff from other things. There's no... And like, his line's on her close-up, and her line's on his close-up of him doing clearly a little reshoot additional thing they just had to fit together. It's fine. It's just like... it's like with... Riker's voice of earlier, it's so crisp. It's like, shit, bring him into the studio separately. Oh, well, the microphone's better. That's fine, doesn't matter, whatever. It's just so different to how they would shot the other stuff. It felt like to me. Little things.
General Grievous throws in $2.
Dang it.
Worf was digging too far. Maybe they killed his son. Oh, that'd be great. I mean, that awful.
And then, but which son though? You killed my son. Alexander? No, Jeremy Astor. Who?
Who?
Oh, because you could do that fake out. Be really freaking sad, but you could.
Darth Duck throws in €5.
Hi, Darth.
Good thing all the bad guys are on the same planet in the same district.
As are her family, her entire family. Why is her family chosen to be on a shitty planet, deliberately called a shitty planet? The entire Federation.
I got the sense that her ex-husband was for sure, but not her so much her son and her.
I mean, that's what the guy said. Or your son, or your granddaughter.
I know, he just mentions their names, not that they're actually there, but he can reach out and touch them should he want to.
I got the
is
sense.
what I implied. I didn't get the sense they were all on the same fucking planet.
I didn't, it was silly.
I didn't. So.
That's all good. That's all good. But yeah, scene. And then we're back to the... I get it. Save as much money as possible, but I was very disappointed to be back in the streets, personally.
Dave Real, Area 51, Worf. I have a son?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I thought I was old. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I was disappointed in these scenes in general because you just, you know.
Yeah. Samuel says, puts in $10 and says, sorry if I was a bit too harsh. Just tired of all the unimaginative sci-fi shows coming out. Both story and art takes a dump on the legacy of so many great authors like Jules Verne and Isaac Asimov. I think there's some really great sci-fi coming out, honestly. But
I mean, also the problem is that the further you go in television, film, which is more mass media, because at a certain point in history, people read sci-fi books. There was no TV. So the idea of you knowing all the books was either you knew all of them or you knew none of them. Now media's so broad that anything you watch, you'll say, oh, that's like this and this. That reminds me of this. And so all the ideas that you think you have are going to be compared to something else. So the further we go, that's when a really truly original idea comes across. It's like, oh my god. Most things aren't, because things are being done every year. Really true creativity, originality. Oh, yeah. It was in a book from 20 years ago. Shit.
Yeah.
You know, even this season, it's the changelings who are the villains. That's not creative, but it feels right because it's the Trek lore. So yeah. it's. I mean, that's such a hard thing. It really is. And ship designs. I mean, what are your thoughts then on Discovery season 4? Because they had truly original ship designs. Just saying.
Yeah, they're fucking garbage. Most of them, anyway. Look, a stapler on my desk. I'm gonna design a ship to look like a stapler. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm thinking outside the box. Anyway, Fleet Paw throws in $5. It was Ro that contacted Worf and Rafi. You can see Bajoran script before the English words, just like how Warp used Klingon script. Yes, we know that.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah, we know that, though, Fleet Paw. Thank you, though.
We're
still talking about how... Did somebody above her cancel the thing to Daystrom Station, or was it her that was saying, no, you can't go there yet? Because Worf says it must be somebody above her. Above them, which didn't say her, but you know what I mean. Anyhow. But yes, Fleet Paw, I noticed that.
I didn't. That's great.
This next scene is just them arriving, being the alphas of this district now.
Yep.
And wonderful, yay. Moving on to a really great shot of the Intrepid warping in, and then the nice pan around of the two ships. I love that ship. I love the Intrepid design. Wow.
And also, the music. Oh, also, yeah. Sorry, skipping over the EMH mobile emitter. Mobile emitter, Stuart. Did you notice that first time round?
Didn't notice the first time, no.
I didn't think you did, based on your face when I said it in our review. You're like.
I noticed the second time.
Yeah. I mean, as I said in our other review, it's like I said to you last week, there'll be a beryllium patch at some point in the season where that is in Star Trek 6, puts it on his shoulder, it's there the entire movie. It's there. It had to be for the scene to work, but if you don't realise it's there, great. So that's on her shoulder the entire time. I clocked it. I noticed it. I'm like, excellent, good. And I guess canon, because why the hell would you have a mobile emitter? Like, such a random piece of tech to have.
And everybody fucking knows about it. Didn't think I'd recognize a mobile emitter?
Well, honestly, I'd assume a mob boss would know more than a Starfleet cadet, because they just have secrets. Especially that guy cracked into Daystrom. Of course knows that stuff. Of all the people, yes. That ominous music with the Intrepids there is like, you're screwed. But also, we think it's just screwed because you're gonna be in trouble. But no. There's more to come.
Misha throws in $5. The changing thing works here because they've never seen the TNG crew or Seven deal with them. Only Worf knows the enemy.
Yep.
But anyway, yes, the Intrepid warps in, and we get a reveal that they're sending a shuttle over. What's wrong? Something wrong with their transporters? Apparently, the security officer is insisting on a shuttle. Strange. And I'm like, I didn't know McCoy was in security. Is he still alive? He'd be like, what? It's 200 now? He hates transporters.
Yeah. Oh, God, that would have been a twist.
All right. And Picard's like, I need to ask one more favor of you. Well, I can still. A lot of people have been making a speculation that the changelings are using the transporters to swap people out. What are your thoughts on this? I never got that sense. I just got the sense that well, I don't know what the sense I got. I just didn't get the sense that they were using the transporters to do that.
Well, briefly, Sergeant Montgomery says, wouldn't the tech mode emitter be classified through the Temple Prime Directive? Yes, but reverse engineered wouldn't be. Look what we invented at Starfleet Engineer. A mobile emitter. Easy. So, yes and no. I think there is something explicitly going to be important with transporters. Because as we had said before, why would you impersonate a transporter officer on the Titan?
Yeah.
So that is the point. And the fact is, most of the time you can't sight beam. So the fact that somebody was there at the transporter pad to beam within 3 seconds officers from one location to another and then off the shuttle. So it would make sense that especially if you're going to hack the transporter system to not register. And on Star Trek 6, I mean, they beamed without being noticed. Transporters really cut through a lot of the bullshit of how do you get places. So yeah, if every single ship in the fleet has a changeling as a transporter operator, they can ostensibly move freely between ships and stations and planets. I mean, that's we asked why Titan. Probably the answer is the Titans are not special. They just had to have one officer there at all times to make sure they could do something. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense, and it's obvious until you think about it.
Murloc says, yeah, what were the red swarms inside the beams and the screaming? That was just his visualizing, taking the red to like the next level because he was in the transporter room. If that's hinting that they're doing something during the transport process to replace a real person with the changeling, interesting. I never got that sense at all. It was just him visualizing what was going on, like in his head.
He's using Google Glass, and he's adding on an AR thing.
Yeah.
But also, Paul says the changelings use the identities of the Titan crew removed to the Intrepid. Look at who was transported pad beaming out, the changelings beaming later. Yes, excellent. I mean, these are the same extras because of COVID protocol, anyway. Same people on set, etc. But yes, shuttles. Obviously, we're thinking, oh no. I mean, certainly I was thinking, is the Intrepid fully taken over? Are they going to start firing? Space battle, blah, blah, blah. I like that it's not that. I like it's more nuanced. And speaking of nuance, Stuart, more sure.
Oh, he's humming away, yeah. I'm just chipper. Not because you're going to get your ass handed to you, just because. We did save the universe a few times. Oh, yeah. Hot dropping. What about those times about hot dropping a saucer on a planet or breaking the Prime Directive so you could screw that chick on Baku? What was the last one? Oh, yes. Causing a time anomaly in Devron system, which could have destroyed the entire galaxy. And then I like how he kind of capped it off with, it seems this whole saving the galaxy thing is kind of a chicken and egg thing with you. You guys caused the problems, and then you solve them. So.
Yep.
Very Shaw and very awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's clever, and it's true. I mean, does one universe save get you out of jail forever, or do they cancel each other out? It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It makes almost too much sense. And also shows that he genuinely is a fan of them. Like, the Infamous D saucer, that, fair enough. Baku, unless you really cared about it, you wouldn't know about that necessarily. And the time one...
That's all good things, man. Who'd they tell? Were there official reports that got spread throughout Starfleet?
Official reports.
There'd be official reports, but I don't know if anybody in Starfleet would have to read them. Because, damn.
That's true, have to, yeah.
It was a Q thing, right? Like, maybe it was part of the Q class in Starfleet.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
Because that was, what, 35 years ago? Because that's endlessly as TNG, so that's all of the years. So Shaw would have been in his, what, 20s? So he could have been, you know, a young, fresh cadet learning about that. Ensign, you know. Did you know what happened to the Devon system? What? You know. But yeah, great scene, fun. And it's good to keep Riker in scenes as well. He adds nuance without doing much to it. And then, bish bash bosh. Oh my god, it's Admiral Kane. I mean, Ensign Ro.
Where's the Pegasus?
Where's the Pegasus? Oh, I could do that. I could do that shot, Stuart. I could have the Titan and the Pegasus FTLs in.
Oh, the size difference. Oh, Jesus.
The exact same shot, but oh, that'd be hilarious. And the exact same clip, interior. No change. Just
General Grievous throws $2. He's fighting something for control of his body.
Mm-hmm.
Jack? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of funny. Why Shuttle? That's weird. No, it doesn't appear that their ship has transporter technology, sir. Ah. Yeah, that'd be great for the Admiral Kane thing. 308 of you here. Awesome, guys. Welcome. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to check out the options to be notified and to join the channel. But hit that like button.
And if you join the channel, Stuart, you can get something as cool as this. Talk about it, Stuart.
Hit the like button first and get it to 250 likes. We can do it. Yes, joining the channel, you get the option, or not the option. You get from the ensign rank onwards. You get your name and blazoned on the screen in every episode. In the fleet, we have the Trekyards fleet here. A lot of ships, and you see the names of all the members of our channel there, different ranks. You get to be a part of that. You can get assigned to a ship, and also the Discord server. You can hang out with your crew and us over there as well. And keep in mind, if you join at the rank of captain, you get a ship automatically. That is your own ship. And you also, if you join at the rank of admiral, get a hero ship. So, you know, that's worth. There's a protostar and stuff there. Those are hero ship perks. So look at the join options. See what if you want to join the channel. But in the meantime, just hit the like button. It's the easiest way to help us out.
Excellent.
Misha throws in $5. So Jack is going through puberty? Yes, Misha. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, they must have toned down her nose ridges, her makeup. Not that it's super prominent in TNG. She had kind of a less nose ridge design, but it's very, very minimal here. I don't know if that's the actress's choice, because I know she didn't want to return for Deep Space Nine, because she was going to be the role of Kira, essentially.
Well, Kira was the role of Ro.
Yes. Yeah, but some people were surprised that she came back at all. But for this role, I think it was perfect. You give me the script as this character or this actor, to be like, yeah, I'm coming back for that. How big's the paycheck? So.
Well, I mean, obviously, huge spoilers, but getting an on-screen death is always fun for an actor. And to reprise as a character from this long ago. And then you can do conventions and earn way more, because now you're relevant again. But no, I thought her ridges were insanely subtle. You missed them in so many shots, and they were definitely more full-on earlier. It was the first... No, we've seen the Bajorans. I don't know, I think it was a slight misstep. I don't think the actress would have been such to say, I refuse to be more than half an hour in makeup. But I can see the makeup guys being like, oh, we can do Bajorans better. Let's make it look more real, because more real will be more subtle. And I'm thinking, oh, but you can barely tell. Cause I think that's part of why she looks like Admiral Kane, because looks like a human.
Maybe it was to help to indicate that she might be a changeling. Just didn't get the quite perfect, you know? And then the earring and all the other things with the red herrings to make you think that she's a changeling from the beginning.
Yeah, I think she distinctly looked less good in this version of Ro, personally.
Yeah.
But here she is. Oh my god.
Yeah. And during this, we also get Seven, who takes Jack, gives him a Starfleet uniform. He's like, I can't wear this. I got a vision. But yeah, hiding him in plain sight. So.
Yeah, because you're looking for a civilian, obviously, and but yeah, that was nice. Because you're wondering, is what you saw a vision or just a premonition, maybe?
Premonition, future, yeah.
No, it was nice, but it makes sense to do that, etc. And then we get the first of the Let's Find Out What's Happening scenes, and there's no fighting between the two doctors. She now is entirely superseding her authority to crush her, which obviously is quite nice.
And look at the Forge's hair here. I didn't notice this. You mentioned it, and I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. Second or third rewatch, I was like, at the end of the episode, the Forge's hair is completely goddamn different.
Not even similar.
Not even closely similar.
Yep.
It's very distracting, especially when you're talking about changelings on board.
Yep. It screams of accidental reshoot or that clip from the later episode, because it's not even close. If you're thinking it's a real story reason, perhaps she looked at herself and said, I don't want to feel like that dead woman, so I'm going to go buzz cut my hair and do some weird things, because it is entirely different. Yeah. I actually like them both for different reasons, but more sleek in the later one. But yeah, here she is, and what's great is that as the audience you're thinking, but how does a changeling stay solid? 4 seconds later, so as we know, changelings stay going to goo. And it's like, let's hold that hand, audience, and go through it properly like canon.
Thank you, though, Terry and crew.
Yep.
That's exactly what people need, and they addressed it all. That's why he says, just keep watching. If you have a question about something, chances are you're going to get an answer. So. And
you can't blame people for asking questions and thinking, etc. But it's yeah.
Nina Haroon, though, throws in $2 with no comment, but thank you so much for the support. We really appreciate that. Speaking of support, hit that like button, guys. Let's try to get up to 250 likes. We can easily do that, I think. You can be a part of that.
Oh, that's so funny, yeah. Sorry, who said it? I want to give him credit. When somebody said... Oh, there we go, David. Oh, it would have been great if she had arrived on the new USS Pegasus. Rather than Intrepid and Bib Pegasus.
Yeah.
I mean, bit meta, but that would have been great.
General Grievous, $5. Bad news for Hunter's Intrepid. Who's going to break the news to Nick Cook? I don't know. Also, how old is the Intrepid? Is this Intrepid? It wasn't in Battle Group Omega and Nemesis. Oh, yes. This is a new ship.
Yeah.
This is a new design. Yeah, new build.
Yeah, I mean, its nacelles are the new type, so it's only going to be as old as those nacelles. I would think, 5 to 6 years maximum. That's not new by any means. You could easily be newer. But certainly... Yeah, no, I talked to Nick instantly. He messaged me saying, oh no, he hadn't seen the episode yet, but obviously that was news. Because it was in last week's This Time On. And he was a bit upset, I'll be honest, because he's been using the Intrepid name for 20 years. But, we can happily assume it's a few years old. Picard's a whole new era. He stars Intrepid up until well past Nemesis, so he's got a couple of years with her. But yes, he unfortunately now has to destroy, retire, or get rid of his ship to play in the Picard timeline, because now there is not his ship Intrepid. So yeah, that's now he's been forced into a new corner. Yeah.
Mark Lawrence asks, does my Patreon contribution counting me as yet another crew member? I believe it is, yes. I'm trying to find out which ship you're on. Because your name is on all of them because you're Federation Council, but I did see your name on one of the other ship plaques. Let me just take a look while Samuel talks about this.
Sure. What scene is next? Yes, good scene. Clever, smart, leads into other stuff. Just what we needed. I love there's no DNA, which is odd because you'd think you could scan for that and detect it in the... But obviously there's more layers to this, but they can get away with all of the stuff that we're used to working out.
Oh, and they make the point of saying, is this a new species? No, it's evolution.
Oh, no, sorry. It was more like this. Ask me again, or ask me.
Is this a new species?
No. Evolution. Yes, very acty. It was good.
Fucking sense, but okay.
Light for the audience. Love her confidence though. Imagine if an episode later is like, no, this is a different species. Oh shit. So,
yeah, they merged with HBC 847 to create this new hybrid.
Well, they're from the Delta Quadrant. You know. But yes, then we have the which is funny. The first time around, I didn't pick up on it because I know who she was. This is the, if you don't know who Ro is, here's who Ro is. Because she's only in one season of TNG, and you could easily have missed her. Seriously, never mentioned again, pretty much ever. So here is who Ro is. Let's talk about it. And it's great. But boy, Picard is pissed. Like the most emotive in all season, by quite a substantial margin, I think.
I can't find the ship you're on, Mark, but yeah, I think you're on. Anyway.
He's even so pissed that Riker say, I'll talk. If you talk, you'll make mistakes. Which is really like, yeah, I'm that pissed.
Yeah. General Grievous throws in $5. Bad news. Oh, never mind. I read that one. Sorry. Mina Haroon. That's what I meant to add. $5. Changeling with organs aren't new. The Martok and Bashir changeling fooled the blood test.
Mm-hmm.
They are experienced changelings that mimic inside and out.
Yes, but those would still be turned to goo when they got shot. This is still an evolution. You're right. They learned how to adapt to that, but this is a far more permanent thing. Because you would imagine, they say in an earlier scene, we have ways of detecting changelings now that work. For how they got, obviously, with Bashir and such. So they, as always is the case, you have to, move the goalposts of, well, we now have a way of detecting. Okay, let's find a new countermeasure. And this is the new one. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so they kicked Riker out.
Yeah.
And these two go at it.
It's great. So, it's vicious. Because, and in the second time, you're thinking, yeah, they both are wondering about the changeling. She obviously 100%, that's her angle. She's trying to tease him and find out. She's pissed at him in general, but if it's not even Picard, why even get angry at him? She's balancing it well. Because as we've heard many a time, if they know stuff, they're not a changeling. But obviously he's being
I just
coy.
came to the realization just now, speaking about it, that's why she asked about his son. She knew that he hasn't known his son very long, and she wanted to see what the changeling would say. As opposed to what Picard might say. The changeling might say, "Oh yeah, this is my son for one time," or whatever. I don't know. But I think that's why she asked him, because that sounded off to me.
Yes.
Why are you asking about his son when he just found out about his son 2 days ago?
Yeah, but you know. Yeah, but you don't know he knew that. You might have known for 10 years. I agree. In the second watch, it's like, well, that went nowhere. But I think it's also a case of, and I agree with you, but I think it's deeper than that. I think it's a case of she remembers that Picard hated children and people often. So his answer on a child is going to be very him, and she'll sense it. Versus a changeling wouldn't necessarily know. Changeling might say, yes, he's my son, and like the emotion's wrong. So she's probing him with specific sort of only Picardisms. It's a very sporadic interrogation, but she has to be subtle in a way. Although she doesn't know changelings can mimic blood, or she wouldn't have done the blood test, so she's not as quite as informed as she could be.
That's cool. That's the realization or the discovery comes at that moment, pretty much, where she's showing Picard.
What, of the discovery or the Discovery A? What? Thanks. Thanks, man.
No problem. Wow.
Yes.
Then we get the what's his name? The boy, Jack Crusher. Reversion to the transporter room. Mm-hmm. And this is odd.
Mm-hmm.
It has this visual of the beams changing.
Mm-hmm.
And some janky shit going on here. And then he asks, "Can I go anywhere but a Federation ship, please?" The guy's like, "No," and he's like, "All right, well, she's dead then."
As you do.
Really. Too many fake outs for me, honestly, here, but it's all right.
And I was wondering, is this guy a changeling? Is that meant to be implied?
Yeah. Because there's a voiceover here at the beginning before he walks down there to the transporter room.
Mm.
It says, "Connect us."
Mm.
Which...
I know. But it
says, "Connect us." That's it. Connect us. That's twice. Yeah.
Things I just really like the guy's acting, and the way and the music is really good, and the ominousness. Those things really got me. And just see the transporter room with brightness. Because the first time we saw it, it was very lens flary and bright, and not bright. Here you get some nice wides, and I feel like I knew it a lot more from this episode. It's one scene, you know? Yeah. And then back to Metalis 3 with the exact same space flyby again, because literally they have one exterior. Which is fine, I don't really care, but one exterior. Now, how many Qui-Gon Jinn vibes did you get from Worf here? When he kneeled in front of the... Oh.
Until you say that. Yeah.
But now what do you think? Yeah. He's waiting for Maul, who appears!
Yeah, absolutely.
With all of his pointy ears and red makeup.
And at first I thought, fucking Vulcan criminal. That's not logical. They addressed that, though. They're like, any utopia needs a criminal element. It's just know that it's a utopia, therefore crime is logical. It's like, no, they just need to know the existence of crime. They don't actually need a crime syndicate. Dumb. Whatever. At least they tried to answer it. Because I know people would have been yelling, oh, being a criminal is not logical.
And yes, Ozzy, I was about to say, because we just got past our first Ro scene. So, how do you feel about seeing Commander Ro? 266 votes. 78%. Wow, that was a big thing. Destroys the rest of the answers in the poll. 13%. It's okay. Don't faze me. 7% spoiled, which is very impressive if that's it. And 2% never liked us, Stuart. Woo. Cool.
Indeed. All right. New poll, but 283 of you here right now. Amazing. 235 likes. Try to get those likes up to 250. I've been trying to get 250 for a while now, so come on, we can do it. It's only another 15 likes. If you're one of the 15 that hasn't hit the like button, now it's your chance. Also, don't forget, check out the join button. Click it. It's an obligation to click it. You can see all the different tiers. You can look at them, see what the perks are, see what you want to do if you join. You get to join the fleet. It's fun. So just look at the options. Aside from there. Mina Haroon throws in $5 with no comment this time.
But as we always say, it's still a comment. A comment of support.
Yes. Although if they do comment again, I will read it.
Yes. Because we like comments.
To have.
But new poll, Stuart.
New poll is: are you done with these? Are you done with these planet sets? Do you need to move on? Yes. Over them. Love them. I didn't think anything of it. It's okay. Yeah, I'm done with all of them, honestly. I want to see now the inside of Disher Station, the museum. New things, please. The Idic bling made me laugh. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Idic necklace was... I mean, hey. It's representing his gangsterness.
And also they're all Vulcans. Diversity. So it's a whole crew.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit distracting for me because I do know the actor from other things, and he's very distinct. He's a distinct character actor. So
also 12 Monkeys. So
yeah.
12 Monkeys crew.
It's like if they actually had brought Eddie Smith. No, what's his name? Eddie Murphy, or Robin Williams, when they would have had their Trek role, all you would have seen was, hey, it's Eddie Murphy in Star Trek. So a known actor does really help. So this guy's like, oh, it's this guy with pointy ears. That said, obviously great voice, great vibe. I definitely see him coming back because they're never going to leave Metalis 6 ever. But I think that he's going to come back. He's too strong to not have a payoff at the end, which I think works. And I didn't even question a Vulcan crime person because I thought, well, we had Zybok. I mean, people can just say...
He was not logical, that's the point.
Yeah, exactly. So Vulcans cannot be logical. I didn't even consider... It's like, yeah, he happens to be Vulcan. Why are they all logical? They have to be. I kind of like that. But I commend them for saying, you know what? That's the easy way out. He just happens to be Vulcan. We're going to make him full logic with the cadence, therefore. Although not the haircut. Not the Vulcan haircut!
Thank Christ.
Yeah. Thank Terry. But having be Vulcan actually kind of creates that box to work within, which means you have to be creative and answer why the box to work in. Yeah. Although it's a bit... you always find it daft, though, when you're in a scene and then this laser pointer comes on and Rafi's like, Worf, watch out! I was like, well, you were standing here in the middle of the street. Like, literally asking to be shot. This is not a you know what I mean? There's a lack of self-awareness, despite being hologram, doesn't matter. Like, yes, that's what's going to happen in the situation, Rafi. You've been in fights before, in which he then disintegrates her, or he shoots her mobile emitter to the floor. I called it. With a Ferengi pistol as well, Stuart. I don't know if you caught that. Using a classic...
Did not.
Using a classic TNG and mostly DS9 Vulcan phaser, which I caught because I know what it looks like. And Rafi gets screwed over and boom! Worf is annoyed.
Yeah, very well. SS Guru 2000 though throws in €5.
Thank you.
Logic depends on goals and circumstances. If you are starving and have no money, then stealing food is logical if you want to survive. Exactly.
Well,
at the end where he's like giving you the key to the extra station.
Yep.
Is logical, so I don't die. Right now.
Yes. Well, it's like Vulcan. Spock does say, logic is the start of the journey. You need the wisdom. There's a specific line where he says there's two elements to the logic. Logic is a tool to look through, but you need to have the wisdom to understand the good and the bad around that. It's not a black and white thing, etc.
We also have Mina Haroon again with $5.
Epicness, thank you.
Martok got hit by 100 Klingon disruptors, and the sheer changeling got blown up by a bomb. I'm sure if they got hit by phasers, there would be a body. Fleetpaw, though, throws in $5.
Thank you.
Row your shuttle, ram it into the port nacelle, sacrifice all of your life, and send them straight to hell.
Oh.
That's great. That's good.
Even better than your one, Stuart, from the start.
I know, but I was improvising. He had time to think about it.
You did.
We type it, fix it.
Yeah.
And then Samuel. Wow. Samuel throws in
Look,
$10.
I'm everywhere today, Stuart. This is great.
Let's see what you say, though. Have an idea for a new changeling test. Have them drop their pants and see if they can make the hardware. They've never seen that part of their targets. Does Starfleet Medical keep cock shots on file? Is the person you're emulating or pretending to be, are they circumcised or uncircumcised? You don't know.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Picard has a little ball piercing in the middle of it. Maybe in the future you get like tattoos. Maybe the Amzadi is tattooed on Riker. Once you get married, that was a tradition. I mean, hey, if Betazoid have naked weddings, maybe you tattoo your private part as part of it. Maybe there aren't weddings; there are gentle tattoos.
Look, SVS Guru 2000.
Oh goodness!
Put in a super chat as well of €10. Was it ever explained why the mobile emitter can't be on the inside of the hologram? I also remember a Voyager episode where the emitter became invisible. Yeah, they've hit it once or twice, and I've always wondered that myself. Why can't it just be on the inside of the arm? Because it's literally a hollow shell of a hologram. So.
Well, because it's projecting from that side of the emitter.
Exactly. So just turn it this way, have it eject from the inside, and make the body that way. It's fine.
I would assume, though, that the hologram itself, the projection would interfere with projecting, because then you're projecting inside of itself versus just projecting out. I think it'd be as simple as that. It just interferes with itself. Because why would you? Because it makes more sense that you would have a hollow, like you say, invisibility thing. Like you put some, but the thing is, you want limitations. No, you want limitations. Which is why actually, all you do, Stuart, is you have a mobile emitter, then you put a real clothing on top of it, because you're solid now. That's all you do. I mean that because then it's not about real clothing, because she is a hologram, and she just disintegrated, disappeared. She didn't have time to put clothing on top of a hard light. Well, does that mean that Rafi was actually? So was that a hologram recreation of Rafi, or was that Rafi controlling a hologram? That's not even remotely answered.
It's not, because she was looking through a sniper rifle.
But maybe there's like a thing that she was like controlling. Because otherwise they made a hologram of Rafi, which was perfect. Which means it's that easy to create a hologram recreation. Who also had a hollow phaser that was shot into the air.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just move on. Nobody cares about this scene.
Oh no, the movie which is really cool. Because why wouldn't you make like hollow John Wick?
We did a whole fact files on the mobile emitter. Go check it out. That was a few years ago.
I think I would have got hollow John Wick. Get Keanu Reeves in the scene, because then he can like 6 hollow phasers or hollow Neo. You know,
Look, Philip Gaming is here in the chat. He is one of the Vulcans in this scene.
You, sir, are still alive. Congratulations.
What? You should show the pictures that I sent you.
Am I allowed to? Will they actually be shared publicly?
They're on his Facebook.
There we go then. I didn't know.
Yeah. We're going to show you pictures, Philip Gaming.
And we will celebrate. I mean, we'll talk about your death. Oh.
Just being killed by Worf is such a cool thing to be able to say that that's happened to you.
So I don't think that many people got killed by Worf. If you break it down, he never got to fire torpedoes, you know?
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Just gives you a close up of the makeup and stuff that
That's true.
he had to wear. So pretty cool.
Oh, I went all the way to the top. There we go.
Ta-da! SVS Guru 2005 euros. Right. Naked Rafi hologram that put clothes on it. Yeah.
Maybe they told the hologram Rafi they were going to a Bayswood wedding. Well, it's funny because you can absolutely see your real eyebrows still.
Yeah, well, it's a dark scene, so it doesn't matter, right?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's just funny because obviously it's just being hid by makeup. That's all it is. Because the heroes have to actually shave that shit because you got to.
Yeah, for the close-ups. Yeah.
I think Ethan Peck didn't for the first Discovery season, and then he committed to it for the actual. Yeah, he didn't want to, and he did it properly for Strange New Worlds because it's quite a commitment.
They can put prosthetics over it.
Yeah.
And blend it better. But because this was a background character, no offense, Philip, because it was so dark, I don't think they needed to.
Oh no, so. I didn't see anyone's eyebrows. I'm just saying Ethan did for season 1 because he felt right. We're gonna commit now, so good for him. Because imagine you walk off the set and you got half eyebrows, or none. Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Well, Leonard Nimoy shaved his back in the day, but that's because,
But then back to. Changelings, again, really, really good, simple, straightforward, logical. I'm so glad it's there. And, we were told by several people, there's a reason, wait for it.
Yeah.
And we were told repeatedly, Stuart, shut up, it's new CGI. And we repeatedly said back, no, it's not. There's a reason. Well, we were right, and it's fine, it's good, moving on. So we were right, Stuart. Yay for us.
Will for Jesus says, I've tried to super chat twice now. And it's blocked me.
Oh.
And I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think that X-Blood has special Borg properties that the Changelings want to add? No. I personally don't think that. A lot of people have speculated as such, but no, I don't think so.
No, I don't think nanoprobes can be transmitted through sex.
Right.
That seems unlikely to me. And he was not changed in any way except having nanoprobes in his body. And if they didn't go through semen, which why would they? Like, they've been deactivated for 15, 20 years, Exactly. Hell of a leap. Now, Seven, she's been Borgified for a long time. You could argue she's been more affected. I could buy her having a child who happens to have something that, maybe there was
that would make a lot more sense.
Like there's a radiation that, if you work in the Queen's presence, you get irradiated for 10 years. Okay, that I could buy. But I wouldn't for Locutus. He was a Borg for 2 days?
A week at most.
Yeah, it was super. Yeah, a week at most. No offense or anything. I wouldn't even think that.
Yeah, but this scene's great because the shape, they hold their shape and even the organs, unless it's like really detailed dissection, then they break apart. So it is quite the evolutionary stage. One could argue that after it's been dead for maybe 2 weeks or a month, that it might just turn back to goo, but Anyway, nice scene, good effect. Liked it a bit.
Oh, it's. I mean, exactly what you needed. I have nothing but good things to say about it. And just the idea of cutting up organs and just because imagine from their perspective as doctors, like, how am I pulling a heart out of a changeling? Like, that's a really interesting sort of day for them.
Yeah. Then we get the whole tell me about your son. Only known him for a few days.
Shut up, bro. Sorry, you're not Russian. You're not
Beverly's. That's like, hey, check this thing out. He's like, hey, medical thing. Excuse me for a second.
Now, obviously, this struck me as, but he's under arrest in theory. Why is she letting him do anything? Like, there's no reason she would let him do that to check. I mean, obviously it's a ploy. Like, she's smart, he's smart. I don't know why she would let him. Like, if that's if Changing Crusher told Changing Picard a changing secret, you know what I mean? But whatever, he had to see it, so moving on. But I like his acting though. Oh, I love you can see these pixels of the screen. That's the problem with real TVs. Unlike plexiglass with actual black backlighting, you can't see the print. I can see the pixels of the TV screen as he presses it. It's incredibly obvious. Because you don't tend to, you shouldn't always film monitors because they don't have so much detail. You're filming a 4K monitor in 6K, close up. You can see every pixel.
Yeah. Then we get the back and forth between these two. She asks a question. He counters with the question, how'd you get back into Starfleet? And she just says, yeah, well, she turned herself in. And then she got rehabilitated. The Starfleet intelligence saw potential in her because of her terrorist activities. So they took her and rehabilitated her.
Kind of forceful, it sounded like.
Yeah, and then she moved up through the ranks quite quickly.
Again.
Which, if it's Starfleet intelligence, I could see her whole reintegration being top secret. So he might never have heard about it, even if he looked. Even as an admiral. So, yeah. Did you have something to say about that? No?
No, I was something else.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the whole, we need to see the dead body of the changeling. All right, let's go. Yeah. We got the officers walking the hall with the pictures of Jack Crusher. All of his aliases. James Cole. But turns out that Ro does not want to go to sickbay. Change of plans, Admiral. Let's pop into the holodeck here. No explanation why the goddamn bar is still running, but okay then. They're really getting their money's worth out of this set, so that's fine.
Yes. Because every dollar saved is another scene you can have with Michelle Forbes. Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
but I think in this scene you definitely realise she is here to bring her A game. Because she could just be, look, I'm in the show. And you're like, oh, she's here to give a performance. And this is going to be a very, very, very focused episode. Not a lot else happens, but that's absolutely fine. Because as I said at the start of the live, these two characters mean something. So every scene with them means something. This isn't Seven having weird dialogue with Shaw. We're like, this is a weird relationship. This is like raw TNG sequel fun, like meaningful, and that really just grounds the episode thoroughly. And yeah, I love the
this back and forth with them is awesome. I just wish he would have had not a regulation Starfleet phaser, but something else behind the bar. Maybe even the Omega's 3 energy weapon that she had behind the bar and 10 forward. He's like Guinan. Do you remember Guinan, right? Love how she turns off the safety protocols so he can actually be dangerous with this weapon. That is nice. Subtle, reaching for the bottles or the glasses of the bar. But no, this was fantastic. They suss each other out. They resolve all their issues they've had for years. Plus, they also it's the dual purpose of also finding out if the other one's changing or not. So, and again, it goes into a lot of detail about their relationship and the betrayal, but. I don't know if we want to go through all of that necessarily.
Well, I'm going to give my general thoughts. Yeah, I was really expecting this to continue in sickbay and actually deal with an investigation. So to suddenly swap into, you know, let's tell secrets in the holodeck was unexpected. Although clearly it's just them. We want to not be on the ship sets because otherwise we're 100% on the ship sets pretty much. So let's go in here because it's different. And they don't even try and give a reason why they're on. Not even try. Because it would have been fine if he had said, "Computer, activate last running program," knowing it was Guinan, as like just a old habit and she doesn't think much of it. But yeah, safeties was brilliant because, yep, I mean that's very clever. We know that they had every single phaser under the sun in season 2, so he could have had any phaser. I certainly would have. I mean, I know the Guinan thing is clever, but I would have just liked a simple TNG dustbuster, like the main one from season sort of 2 to 7. As a beautiful compromise, because then, yeah, Guinan, why would you have the latest Star Trek Starfleet phaser? You know what I mean? But her having that one, like one of several phasers, like she has a Ferengi and a Klingon, and maybe even maybe you could have even had a little edit of his hand going underneath the desk and like grabbing whatever he finds. You see a Klingon and a Ferengi and a Romulan, and then pulls out. He's like, oh, like I'm surprised by this one. Like I think that would have been really cute because then you've got the literal bringing back the past to defend against myself, and then Ro is like, really? What, Guinan likes this one? Like, yeah, it's small, but you could have added a bit more there. But certainly the dual phaser moment is fun, and they're so relaxed as well. Bloody relaxed, these phasers.
Yeah. Then the whole, why are you here, Ro? Starfleet's compromised.
Why are you here?
I love that she also says, I got boots on the ground, I got 2 agents out there.
Crash, click, it all connects to you. Oh my god.
And then then the biggest punch is kind of like, so, after all that, do you trust me?
Mm-hmm.
I have no fucking reason to trust you because you betrayed me last time, but yeah, I trust you.
Yeah, that was kind of a magical moment. It was ballsy to write that, but it's the we have all this bullshit between us, but you know who I really am at the deepest level. Do you trust who you think I am, who I am? Not the history, but who you know me to be. I know who you to be. I like that. It cut like someone else has said. This is several episodes worth of bullshit we've compressed to one scene, and Picard's acting like Picard. You know, it seems effortless, but it's like, well, of course, it's what would happen. And yeah, putting the phasers down, and oh yeah, him reciting Bajoran, saying he's done this speech for years. All fun stuff. I didn't ever think she was that important to him personally. I guess Data and Ro really screwed him over emotionally. Those two, his not best friend Data and a Ro who knew for 2 years on and off, but then didn't think. You know, it's fine, but it's like there's a hell of a reaction. I kind of wish we'd had anything else. You know, if they had more money, Stuart, imagine if they'd done a flashback to a de-aged Ro in TNG uniform on the D. And like a scene which is talking to Riker about something, like they could have done even more here, etc.
Sort of overcomplicated things. They didn't need to do that.
But it would have given us.
Riker wasn't even included in this.
But it would have given us why they're so connected. Because I mean, we're going to watch that in TNG soon. But now I'm going to look at those episodes thinking, she was my protege, who I really, really, really liked, and it's the deepest betrayal ever. It's like, was it? Okay.
It is though. In that episode, yeah, it is.
In that episode.
The point of the episode. Yeah.
But the fact that hasn't lingered with me for 20 years, it's like, oh, yeah. He has many people over many years. That's what I just, yeah, it would be nice to see an extra thing, but it works well. And then, yes, it's sad.
Yeah.
Now the fight to the death.
Yeah. Who will win? The Vulcan or the human?
The Vulcan.
No, their knives have slits in them. Is that relevant? Are they magical Riemann knives now?
Well, Vulcans love Riemann's knives, maybe.
There you go. Yeah.
Canon. Yeah, canon. There you go.
This whole I've sacrificed much. Now it's time to sacrifice again.
Oh my God, Z Fade. Oh, that as well. Oh, goodbye, Snorgsgird. Yes. Oh yeah, and Mina says, shouldn't it be her and Riker who had this conversation, since they were far more close and had sex one time? Also would have worked.
Shows about Picard, and the betrayal is way more hurtful to any kind of sex thing. So,
But you imagine she probably talked to Riker more personally, like on a personal level. Hey, Minkin, I can do good de-aging. Shush your face.
They had sex when they weren't themselves, though, so that doesn't really...
But they had chemistry around that. That's the point. It was like there was something there for them to bounce on each other. Well, yeah.
Squadra course, $5. Just saying hi to everyone. Sorry for the absence. Been slammed with moving.
Yes.
Selling houses, etc. Also behind on Picard season 3, so trying to avoid spoilers. Then please leave.
Oh.
It's a bad place to be, man.
What a risk. What a roll of dice there. Hope the move's going well.
The Dark Lord Revan throws in $5. So happy Ro came back. I've had a crush on her for so long. Most Bajoran actresses, to be fair. Sad Riker didn't get a one-on-one with her.
That is true. One note would have been nice.
I'm the exact opposite of that. I hate every Bajoran actress, pretty much. I don't like the characters. But that was with younger me. And grown a bit. Still don't like her. She's not attractive at all, in any way, shape, or form.
That doesn't matter, Stuart.
Does to me.
Does to you.
MKW throws in £5.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely incredible episode, on the edge of my seat. However, it's frustrating that the storyline will be wrapped up in a few episodes. Could be a 4-season arc. That'd be too much.
Yeah, there's not enough story for that.
Oh, no.
You'd have to have stories and stories and stories and stories, like, really convoluted. But speaking of convoluted, Worf is planning a plan, because it is a good day to be honourable and dying and all that jazz. I mean, the issue is, A, we've seen future trailers where he's alive. B, they're not going to kill Worf like this. So, there's no tension here. It's fine. Like, it works fine. And also we know that Worf will win this fight if he was really fighting. But yes, he gets killed. At least I appreciate, from a director point of view, they actually do approach this scene like a real death scene. Which gives Michael Dorn a death scene. Because that's exactly dialogue I would expect from him. So he did get a death scene, even if he didn't die. So I actually, what do you think about that? Like, would this have counted if this was real? Like, as in, is the dialogue good? Would you have bought that as a real death scene?
Yeah, dialogue was good. So it was a good day to die like that. Yeah, if anybody's gonna kill me, glad it's you, kind of thing that's going on there. But yeah, it's just stupid because you know exactly where it's going. So, anyhow, kind of stupid though that he lets her stab him. I mean, hopefully she knew where to do it, which would cause the least amount of damage. But it's, I don't know, seems a little off to me.
Well, I kind of wish though they'd had some semblance of. Thank you for stabbing me behind my third vertebra. Well, I know it won't kill you. Yes. Because otherwise it feels a bit lucky that she didn't murder him.
Well, it goes back to the sparring earlier, but I wish something would have been said.
Yes, exactly.
Like, oh, that was a sensitive spot, but
yeah.
At least it's not fatal. Or something.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much time. And, oh, that's the next scene. Yeah, so there you go. Kills Worf. Oh my god. Then we have the changelings trying to grab him.
And they chirp in the language of the Vadic's crew. It's chittering, as they call it in the subtitles.
I was kind of surprised they didn't say computer locate Commander Ro, and they didn't just beam there, because they can do both those things.
Yeah.
Now, obviously not right now, but why didn't they do it earlier? And would locking the door sort of beaming inside a holodeck? I guess. But wouldn't it be a bit even more suspicious? You've also got a dampening field around the holodeck. Yeah.
But speaking of the holodeck, we're on there now, and they're talking about infiltration of Starfleet. She says, I don't even trust the transporters on the ship. There have been fleet-wide issues for 4 months. I want to know, what are your plans for Frontier Day? This is what the whole fleet's going to be on display, but essentially, with all the security preparations are classified. She can't even get access to them with only being days away. So, And also, this is the other thing too. There have been 12 incidents across multiple starships with regards to changelings, but all of them have been kept quiet. She's just working behind the scenes, connecting the dots.
It's actually a really, really important scene because it entirely recontextualizes the season again.
And it also ties in the Jack thing. She says, "What's the importance of Jack?" She says, "I don't know, but all I know is that Starfleet insisted that I retrieve him, and that's not the first time that I've heard his name amongst intelligence chatter." So,
yeah, this will be one of the big things you'll look back and say, "Oh, I get it now." That we see the pieces, but not how they connect exactly. Yeah, because I mean, if it's 2 weeks ago, what triggered it that long ago? And also, I love the tone change here. They've fully battened down the hatches, and they're fine now. And now they can work. They're working strongly, positively on the same page. And now she's Jean-Luc in a minute. You know, as an actor, to have these context changes, pretty fun. And yeah, obviously Worf knew about changelings through Ro. But what does a changeling encounter mean? Because she didn't know they could. She didn't know blood was not a non-issue. And she did know. Then she did that maybe as a test for Picard. Because I guess he could have said, "Well, changelings don't need." Did they capture 10 changelings? They kill 10. I mean, is that not a sign of war? It's a bit of a weird one.
Dave L says they kept quiet, but how does she know about them? Because she's Starfleet intelligence. It's her job to know about these things.
And you would assume that not everyone's a changeling, so a report goes somewhere with something. It's almost worth them revealing themselves to ensure other people can be trusted.
Yeah. Unless Jericho says, "I still think she's a changeling." No! Take all the power and impact that the conversation they just had away. And it's been established that they don't get the memories of the person. There's no way she would have known all the details to have had that conversation with Picard. She's not a changeling. I wish people would stop saying that. Riker's a changeling. Oh no, maybe Jack's a changeling. No, that's for. I get it. That's part of the allure of having changelings as the enemy, because everybody could be a changeling. Trust no one. It just gets really old when you know that they wouldn't do that for that character. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, think of the changelings more as the T-1000 here. They're killers who can occasionally be someone else in a brief moment to trick you, but not actually really there, etc. No, good scene, good chat. And I love the Frontier Day. Obviously, we know it's important as the audience. We've seen trailers, etc. But yeah, the whole fleet's there. Oh no, that we didn't know.
Yeah,
that's big because I mean, what a great way of, forcing the win. We'll wait 6 months until anniversary. Ooh, we'll say there's decommissioning. Ooh, we'll make all 600 ships there. The grandest Federation thing ever. Bomb. What? We'll kill everybody. What? And now we can waltz right in. Like, it's great. It's simple. It's effective. Changes are meant to be espionage, so they take opportunity and they're using it. And only days away. So now we know the season is only days. Which makes sense, because it's so little is happening every episode that, the season takes place over 1 week, basically. It's tiny.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5.
Thank you.
I bet some people in Starfleet right now regret the demise of Section 31.
The demise. Ha!
Yep. Anyway, back to the death scene. Don't care. This is where he threatens her ex-husband and her son and her granddaughter. She's like, "I'll kill you first," and then the lights go out, and thump, thump, thump. Everybody dies. Good job, Philip Gaming. You fail. Anyway.
Yep.
Worf is back, and he's lost a lot of blood. So we get the whole explanation of how the AI works, and they need this backdoor protocol thing to get in. And it just comes to the conclusion that you're not going to kill me, but he's lost a lot of blood, so can you really trust that? And then it's like, well, giving you the thing would be. I love the way it ended.
Yeah, it's one of those few times where just give good actors good dialogue. Who cares about the sets? Who cares about? It was all in close-ups. Good actors. They did. Yes, in most shows you monologue slightly. It's like, no, I'm too dying to. Because he's dying. Like, he is dying. Bloodless is dying. So, quick. I was like, we'll kill you. It's great. It's really entertaining. Actually.
Stuart Perry says, so guys, what could take out all of the fleet in one surprise attack? The alien construct from Prodigy. It's going to make a reappearance on Frontier Day.
Or Control from Discovery Season 2 could come back.
Jesus.
Or the AI tentacle beings from the end of Season 1. Or the thing that fired the beam through the wormhole in Season 2. Or the Borg. Or the not Borg. Or the Jat Vash, because they hate AIs. There's so many things they've introduced in the last few years. Or maybe J.G. Hertzer will come back and play Drakmani Scavengers. And he's really pissed by his continuous loss against the Cerritos, that he built the grandest armada known to everything kind.
And Philip Gaming, yes, I know you're dead. That's what I mean. You failed, my friend.
I mean,
Worf killed you.
When you come back, you know, maybe you also practice the time-on tradition of the Surak, because Chaos Surak, you know,
the slowing down of your heart to imperceptible levels.
I mean, in fairness, Vulcans could totally do that anyway. That's absolutely like a standard classic thing to meditate.
Yep.
Although Worf's not checking bodies, he's just stabbing. Also, why has he got a phaser? Like, I doubt they took a phaser off his dead body. Why is he playing out a phaser and shooting them? Why does he have to stab everybody? Because if he phasered them, he could hold them for information. Yeah, phaser this fool, get him back on the arena, shove him in a chair, punch him a bit, get his information. Phasers, better than knives.
And Sir Hoshi, yes, there's a video coming about the Intrepid, so stay tuned.
It's good video.
Badwan Yu throws in $5.
Thank you.
Happy Friday, gents and
Friday.
Captain. Hope you are feeling well after last night's shotathon. I am.
Shotathon? Oh, is that why?
Feeling a little, well, that's part of it. I wasn't actually, probably 4 shots were paid for. It was just a good live in general. And then I was doing like goal shots. If we hit 200 likes, I would take a shot. If we hit 200 and whatever. So anyway, yes, I'm feeling fine. It was a fun night. I was feeling pretty good by the end of it. And yeah, I didn't go over the top. So Cornelius Iron, $10. I feel like they are building up to a battle at midnight level event. And we'll see the Yorktown Enterprise F at the end. The Yorktown Enterprise F. I don't know what that is.
Odyssey class. I know you know, but that's for them. It's the Odyssey.
Yes, it's the Odyssey class.
There is no Yorktown.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €2. It will be Agamus and Peanut Hamper. That'll be next season of Holodecks. And then Samuel throws in
Hello!
$5. I hope they catch the final boss Changeling by disguising a toilet as his bucket, flush him in his sleep.
They can flush him into a star. Oh, they can flush him into the middle of the mycelial core, like Lorca, and then he can reappear as good. What if it's Prime Lorca? What if he came through the mycelial spores into the Prime timeline and became a changeling?
That's stupid.
Well, Samuel said it. Oh, that's me. Shit.
Way more stupid than anything you've ever said before.
So you're saying me and Samuel, the Samuels, are full of stupid. Is that what you're saying, Stuart?
Yes.
Is anybody
Anyone named Samuel is stupid?
Okay. Is anybody in the chat called Stuart? Can you say something stupid? So at least there's several stupid. If your name is Stuart, say hi.
But only if it's spelt right.
That's fair. But 209 votes in our poll. I asked you the question, are you done with these planet sets? Do you need to move on? 53% yes, I'm over them. 38% didn't even think of it. It's okay. And 9% love them. Interesting. Steve
Foster throws in £5. They mentioned Daystrom AI too many times for it not to be Moriarty. Okay, I don't understand why you
only twice.
Why you take Moriarty out of the cube to say, we need you to be security for this fucking station. They're just dumb.
Just invent an AI then.
Yeah, exactly. Just base it off. Maybe they did. Maybe they based another one off his original one. So it's still Moriarty. It's just not the evolved Moriarty that's in the hollow cube thingy. I don't. Oh, Stuart Perry is here, and he says, dope. There you go. There's somebody who's saying something stupid.
And it's the correct spelling too.
There's only one way to spell dope.
No, his name.
Oh.
See? A Stuart moment by the Stuart. Yes, we did it! Woo! The Stuart, the stupid like the Samuels.
Anyway, guys, hit that like button. 277 likes. Can we hit 300? Ooh, this is where it becomes tricky. I think we can hit 280 for sure, but can we hit 300? I think we maybe can. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And we have no new members during this live so far.
Well, no, Aaron was before the live.
Oh, the Ensign. Yes. But also, please go check out the join option and see what the options are for that, and consider joining the channel. We really appreciate it, and it's fun.
Really helps, and we really like adding new ships. And if you literally, right now, if any of you went for a captain tier perk or an admiral or above, we would throw a new ship into the armada, which would then change the entire fleet order, which we love, and kind of throw us a wonderful curveball of, oh no, we've got to put another ship in, or another ship in.
The Dark Lord Reverend says, I think Moriarty is the chip they used to break in. Yes, I would love to break into Daystrom Station. That would be a good...
Yes. That's actually really good.
Because Lore is the actual AI security, apparently.
Which makes sense. The only thing that can fight a Data or Lore is a Moriarty. That works. That works.
SPS Guru 2000 throws in €5.
Thank you.
The thing with those sets is that there is zero sense of space. I have no idea where anything is in relation to anything. Good riddance. Good riddance to bad sets. All right, so back aboard the Titan. She's given Picard the rundown. She says, I've transferred most of your crew to the Intrepid. You have a skeleton crew, so make sure that they're all trustworthy and loyal. And then run. Get out of here. She's like, I'm going to go buy you some time on the Intrepid. So here's my earring.
Yes.
Enjoy.
And calls him John Luke. It's legitimately quite a powerful little scene. It's well acted. It's very intense. No, it's good. You really feel for it. They've bonded at the end.
Yeah, I think if these two are changelings, though, when she says we're leaving, that's an order. They'd be like, we're supposed to bring Jack. They do say we got to bring Jack Crusher. She's like, no, we're leaving. That's an order. She just talked to the guy she was interrogating for treason and is now walking away from that situation. Something sketchy's going on.
Yeah. Well, it just shows they have insane restraint to the changelings because they could just grab them right now. Why not? Because if you get Picard and Ro, you've both ships basically held hostage. Yeah. I mean, it implies it's a much longer game to not reveal yourselves. But hell, big opportunity to not reveal yourselves. Because, yeah, it's a entirely countermands. But yeah, good scene. Her cry, great. Yeah, strong.
It's great to see.
But again, super subtle ear nose ridges, almost imperceptible.
Yeah.
They don't pop. You don't really feel them. They're barely there. Barely there.
Then he goes up to the bridge, and I love Shaw. Well, that's the fastest court-martial I've ever seen. Although, why is Riker hanging out on the bridge with them when he's also accused of treason? He should be like in a brig somewhere, or at least being watched by security guards.
I mean, there is security.
There you go. There's one on the bridge there behind him.
But I would think Shaw would be thinking, so she's been interrogating Picard for the entire time, doesn't care about Riker clearly because there's no one with Riker of their security team. I'll grab him then. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's okay.
I like how he's like security, and Riker's like, belay that.
Well, that's when Picard says, we're in danger. There's more to this than we know. We must fight.
Yes.
And then yeah, which is good for Shaw. I mean, it shows he's got high morals to say, yeah, you could be anybody. Just gonna. Yeah, don't you dare. There's some good tete for tete. Because you never see two captains and admiral in a scene. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
He's like, just trust me. And Shaw's like,
Yeah, his face, man, is like, oh, I mean, I want to, but also last time I did that, you almost killed us all. But the last time I did that, you saved us. The last time you almost killed us. You one each here, Patrick.
Then we have a nice shuttle launch.
Lovely.
Nice pan over the ship.
Nice close up for any 3D model makers. You can see the hull. Ooh, look at those lines in those black parts of the warp engines. That's cool. It's like weird grilling and a texture error that I can. Or, oh, I can see a floating polygon. That's a poly error. That's funny.
And then we get the bomb planted on the shuttle.
I don't know why they didn't do this when she was in the shuttle bay. Why now? Because she doesn't get... Now, the Intrepid says you're clear to land. Then it goes... No. Then they beam away. It's weird timing. And are they allowed to kill her? Like, surely they take orders from a higher changeling. I doubt they could call him in between. You know, sorry, Commander Ro. Kill her. I'm back. Where did you go? Toilet. Oh, okay. But yes, it escalates real quickly. With a deliberately high countdown, you can kind of gather from the 4 digits, because time works, you know. Because it's more than you think, Stuart, as we also know we watched it. But it isn't just, we're going to kill you, Commander Ro. It's a case of, haha, you've got a choice. Riker says, you could come back to the Titan, and we could probably beam you out. But at that point, the thing will blow up and hurt the Titan, which is a win for the changelings. Or, I mean, you're not going to sacrifice yourself to destroy the Intrepid, are you? No, you're not. So the obvious plan is, yeah, go back and all you have to do is just cause some damage to the Intrepid and the Titan. You're good. It's a good play actually. It feels dumb at the time, I think. So like, well, why the delay? Be like, oh, actually, there's a plan here.
Yeah, and then we get the whole like she's moving away from us, sir, and there's the Forge with the new hairstyle, which I did not notice the first time. I gotta say, but it's super distracting once I noticed it. So, don't know why they did that. Like you said, it could have been pickup scenes, I guess, or shots.
Oh, is this the bit where we see her?
Yeah, where she says she's moving away from us, sir, when they said you could come back.
Yeah. Do you have a shot of that?
I do.
Sorry, I just looked at the changeling blowy uppy or the changeling morph effect. Oh yeah. My god! I know, I just was still on the bomb. Yeah, so this is how she looked in this scene. She has almost looks like a different person. Yeah. Honestly. So she straightened her hair between scenes and cut it and styled it. When you see it, guys, it's really distracting.
She went down to the barber shop with Foley.
It's Mott's son. It's all about fathers and sons.
Yeah.
Mott's there. Isn't that weird, guys?
It's on deck 12 too, because remember last time there was a security breach on deck 12, and it's like the brig. Well, of course it's not the brig. Like, it's not the hair salon. Remember, I made that joke.
You did.
There you go.
Maybe it's deck 29. Everything happens on deck 29. Have we got deck 29? In some movies.
No, we don't. What? SUS Guru 2000 throws in €5. Why didn't they just shoot her right then and there so she couldn't contact Picard or crash the shuttle into the nacelle? Because we don't know how many people aboard the Intrepid are compromised. Could be the guy at the tactical station is in fact not a changeling, and would not have fired the weapons even if given an order by the captain. So it's hard to say.
Well, yeah, they've got to do it themselves. The changelings, they can't. Yeah, they're not in total control. They're in strategic control. You know, It's important, that distinction.
And Dave throws in £2 and says, "This Intrepid shot, the callbacks, top notch." I don't know which one you're talking about specifically, but yeah, there's some beautiful shots of the Intrepid here.
There's.
We've speculated. Okay, I'm not sure if the bomb blows up before she hits the nacelle. It's quite questionable. I've watched it a few times now. It looks like it blows up just before she hits the nacelle. I don't think she actually rams into the nacelle first. I kind of like her sacrificing herself so to prevent the explosion, but I don't think that's what they're trying to portray here necessarily. They make it very hard to tell.
Because I know when we had Terry in the chat, we were commenting on it. You know, they registered it wasn't an explosion from the outside, etc., or was Dave. I just think this is an actual bomb. This, to me, looks like the ship exploded in a fireball, not a giant warp detonation antimatter bomb exploded, because that would have destroyed...
Well, it's not a matter antimatter bomb. Because the one that was blew up on the Titan was a small explosion. It just took out the power conduit, and this was the exact same explosive device.
Yeah, but that could have been on low yield, like a tactical one. I mean, put it this way, if they wanted to cause real damage, this wouldn't have caused real damage to the Titan.
Yeah, and also I don't understand if there's changelings on the Intrepid. She didn't know how many. Why are the changelings putting a bomb on the shuttle, which is going to land on the Intrepid and cause damage?
Well, no, because they
Intrepid?
think she's going to go back to the Titan and therefore damage the Titan. They're counting on her wanting to be saved.
It's the stupidest plan in existence.
Well, either she dies or they hurt the Titan.
It's just stupid. That doesn't make any sense, actually.
Really? Why not?
The more I think about it. So we're going over to the Intrepid. We're on the ship with her.
Yes.
We're going to plant a bomb on here.
Yes.
Beam back to the Titan.
Yes.
Hoping that she'll fly the shuttle back to the Titan and blow up the shuttle bay of the Titan.
Yes.
First of all, why would she do that? She's on her way back to the Intrepid.
Because they've blocked all comms with the Intrepid. They say that, so she can't get through to them, and so so all she'll do is be able to go into their. In theory, all she'll be able to do is go into their hangar and blow up, but she could get beamed off with the Titan. They said that we can beam you off if you get closer. The Intrepid can't beam her off. They don't know. So that's only the Titan can save her. The Intrepid can't. That's why.
It's so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest plan ever.
Well,
there's too many variables there.
There's a lot.
There's too many. It's not even a good plan from the beginning.
Well, it's not a plan. It's a reaction. I mean, it's not a plan. It's a let's bomb her. I'm guessing that even if... Because they could have put it on a chair and then beamed out last minute, you know? They could have not... If they wanted to generally kill her... my assumption is when they say later on they're framing us, that's also the idea that, oh no, they bombed the shuttle and killed Ro. I assume that's the real plan.
Cause damage to the Intrepid shuttle bay in the process.
Yes.
That's where they're going.
But then obviously if that happened, whatever. It's
The worst part about it is the explosion happens, and then later when we see the Intrepid like rising up, like, and there's like a flaming nacelle. There's no flames in space. I understand it's plasma, but the way it's going up, flowing out in every direction would make more sense. But it's literally a fire.
Yeah.
On the nacelle.
Well, also while they do the visuals cool, why is the ship sinking?
Oh, it's exactly that reason, because it's like a ship sinking in the water.
Because the nacelle got hit front, which means if anything, it's going to be pushed backwards by the kinetic force of that. It's not being pushed down and because the saucer goes first, which is not the direction it'd be if the nacelle was causing the propulsion system. The shot's great, but you're right. The physics there aren't physics.
SVS Guru 2000 throws in €5. I mean, shoot her and still plant the bomb, so they can still frame the Titan.
That would be easier.
We'll still erase all traces of phaser fire. There's that too, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Or save her, keep her as a secret hostage, and then do the bomb plan. Basically, every other plan.
I gotta say, the ship rising up, like, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I just wish... I love the flame effect, don't get me wrong, it was cool. But it doesn't make any goddamn sense. And there's even smoke.
Yeah.
So...
Now, the sequence is really, really good. The slow hit to the nacelle is beautiful. The Ro, don't do it! I have to do... It's really, really well played. The reaction to it, the fact that the shield bubble from Rafi Khan and then yet TNG, all of it is so well done. Yes, I mean, this shot, is becoming iconic for a reason, because it ends up being this silhouette of giant fuck you, basically.
And Dave asks, or says, ignited the gas in the collector? Yeah, but that's not how space works. You can ignite gas anywhere, and as long as it's exposed to the vacuum of space, it's not going to burn. If it was plasma just shooting out in different directions, but it literally looks like a flame with like smoke. It's wrong. It looks very, very cool, very dramatic, but it's just wrong. Philip Goyat throws in £5. It says, could Jack be an activated synth like Soji? Also, could the red vines in Jack's vision be a link to the blight disease seen in DS9? No to both those things. He's a synth. When did he become a synth? Beverly obviously remembers giving birth to him and raising him up. So he would have had to be swapped out,
Well,
which again would make no sense for the whole.
yes,
Him talking to Picard about his feelings. It just would make everything that he said ever meaningless.
I mean, you say that, but they put fake memories in Soji. Why can't they put fake memories in Beverly?
Well, there you go.
Maybe
Not actually.
Yeah, maybe the son only came in like a month ago. That's why he was on the radar. Maybe that's why the English accent, because the changelings made a clone of him. I mean, it's a hell of a double twist.
That's interesting.
It's interesting.
It's kind of just
because it also wouldn't devalue the conversations he's had with Picard, because he still feels like he's Picard's son. He just isn't. Oof. That'd be a big twist. And now he's got a son. Is it because if you think you're the son, are you really the son? Yeah, close enough. And you're made from the DNA of both of them. Still kind of a son. Very cool.
Love how Shaw is also like, I can't turn this entire crew into fugitives. He's like, you know what? Don't believe me. Just look, use your eyes. See what's going on. Besides, most of your crew is on board that ship anyway. So you got a skeleton crew over here. You're not turning everybody into a fugitive.
Well, yeah, if anything, you're turning the 20 people left who you've sort of handpicked to stay into fugitives. Most of your crew are fine. I mean, there might even be enough people, because the Titan is pretty big. If you've got 200 people on the Intrepid, they could in theory mutiny and take over the ship. That's a lot of people, you know? I'm just saying, like, I mean, if there's 4 changelings aboard, and now there's 650 humans, I mean, the odds are pretty stacked in their favour. It's not a small crew. But yeah, I love Shaw's acting here. It's really, really fun. And obviously, you know, as I often do in these things, you know, first names are powerful. Liam. You know?
Yeah, that was great. Captain Shaw. Liam. Yeah, that's great. Then we get Jack going all Jason Bourne on these guys. These changelings. Takes out 4 of them, and again, as you said, you can actually see him change the phaser setting, which is a nice little touch. But these are definitely the scenes we were talking about, Starfleet versus Starfleet from the trailer, and very well done. He definitely kicks ass. So. And 296 likes, guys. We're 4 likes away from 300. Hit that like button. Let's do it. 300 is within reach.
Or 400. I mean, keep pressing those likes. Oh, and also, when the Intrepid zones up, I was wondering what the hell those red lights were on the saucer. But they are the phaser strips priming at the edges, which is not what happens to phaser strips, but I get what it is now.
Yeah, and you see the
torpedoes.
Torpedo launcher like flare up too.
Yeah. Yeah, and the red alert thing. It's just all good stuff. It's paced well. You feel it. Although it's very lucky that the entire skeleton crew, all the bridge crew that we know, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because what a coincidence. And also, this one random Vulcan gets pulled off the transporter bay. Because he was in an earlier scene being beamed off. So why is he back on the pad by himself?
Just a shot we put in there because of editing.
Fair enough.
General Grievous, $2. Jack reminded me of River Tam in this scene. I don't know who River Tam is, but okay.
Oh, River Tam's from Firefly.
Yeah, the vines in the hallway, and then the actual wooden red door at the end of the corridor was interesting. We're going to see that reveal at some point, I'm sure. But then it changes into just the door with the red alert lights, which I thought was really cool. Dustin Herc puts in $5.50 Canadian. I feel they messed up by using changelings on a variation. Should have used the brain bugs from Conspiracy instead. Theme would have kept up too. There's a reason that they didn't. There's a reason Terry didn't. To check out Terry's Twitter. Thought about using the brain bugs, yes, but they're a little bit different. Changelings are a little bit more advanced and harder to detect. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great Jason Bourne shootout. The changing setting was great. The headshot was gruesome as all hell, but also just enough that it goes quickly. You've never really seen changelings being in a firefight before, ever. So that was quite fun. But they also feel like kind of bitches as well. You know? As if, of course, he's a better trained person. Which is like, huh? So that's why I think, he's been trained, he's been sleep agented to kill changelings. Therefore, he's not fighting well. He's fighting against what they would do. So it's a very specific sort of, fighting against the strength and weakness. And yeah, the red door. It's good stuff.
SPS Guru 2000 throws in €2 and
Thank
says,
you.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. Yeah. Activated like Jason Bourne, that's for sure. And then, yes, the Intrepid is powering things up. We got to get the hell out of here. And I love this. As you pointed out, when they fire both torpedoes, it's one per nacelle to knock out the propulsion, and they warp out. Beautiful. Amazing scene.
Now, do you think the door is actually going to be purely symbolic of walk through the door, Jack? Is it that simple? Because if you look, the door has 2 Starfleet emblems either side, so the entire wall is different, which implies he has to go through Starfleet data. It's a door of Starfleet. It's not just that's a deliberately CG addition.
Yeah, I never thought about that. It just seems like a wooden door. Seems like a weird, flashback memory type deal.
But is it literal? Open the door, walk through. Now I'm Jack, evil.
Yeah.
The memories are behind the door, a Starfleet door, because of the Starfleet emblems.
Gary James Fakuru, $2. Jack has his father's Borg DNA. I think you mean Borg, and no, there was no Borg DNA still in Picard. Sorry. Anyway, 306 likes.
Excellent.
Get going, guys. Let's see how good we can go.
And also, another tiny subtle thing, but in the vision, there are windows because there's light streaming through.
Yes, look at the sunlight, yeah.
It's very subtle and such a choice. Just saying. But yes, I love the move away, and you can see the Titans. There's actually repair matter in the holes. Subtle, but true. And Titan, the thing goes after. Double torpedo. What do I know phasers? Because phasers would be instant damage.
Yeah, I know.
Torpedoes. And also, one torpedo would not just... Like, the shields could take those 2 impacts fine. That's not enough to disable the Titan at all. One SLE. You know what I mean? That's a really bad strategy, actually. Yeah, that's not even a strategy at all. So maybe the captain of that ship saying, yeah, just let them go, or we'll fire slow-moving torpedoes that won't hit them before they warp out. Because that's not what you would do. You'd fire everything. Or you'd say, full impulse, and you'd zoom and you'd start firing, and they really don't.
IB says Jack was created at Daystrom. Yeah, you think Beverly might have remembered that. Unless they planted false memories in her brain of her giving birth to him, I guess, but sure. SBS Guru 2000 throws in €5 and says, also, those are some slow torpedoes. It's fine. But then the final scene, yes, Riker is like, sorry, I know what she meant to you. He's like, I don't think you do, Will. I didn't realize what she meant to me until right now. And then she left me her earring. Riker's like, yeah, I know what this is. This is spycraft.
Classic spycraft.
Well, old school spycraft. Yeah, it's a data chip. It's all of her files, her entire investigation. He says she died for this.
Let me just start flipping these so we can read them. But it's interesting, it's the same stuff that we've already seen. Yeah.
I mean, somebody pointed out we should pay attention to the monitors. The one thing they were talking about was this early decommission for the Enterprise F. Sorry, saw that in episode, what, 1, 2? When Rafi had it on screen? Yes, we've seen that before.
I was kind of surprised how little information was actually new here.
Yep. There's nothing new. There's absolutely nothing.
Starfleet Intelligence Report.
Incident reports.
Daystrom Station, Black Site, emergent, extremely valuable, something weapon, evade detection.
There's nothing here that'll have any answers because they know we're going to scour through it.
Starfleet Intelligence Report, Commander. Transporter manufacturer and award USS redacted.
Andre Benson, $5. Question: the Enterprise F is scheduled for early decommissioning. Do you think it is being decommissioned because of Starfleet being compromised? No. Don't.
Actually, maybe.
Its systems. Could be. Its systems were compromised. It did say that. And 15 years, I think, is a good age for a starship to be retired, honestly, because flagships should be cutting edge. So I have no problem with the 15-year thing. But...
Well, and also, you know, it depends its mission profile. If you're doing high octane flagship stuff, your hull will be just hit with all this extra stuff. If you're a science ship, going to nebulas and staying away from them, your hull's going to be potentially brand new, or cargo ship, you know, versus like the flagship. I mean, the DO lasted 7-8 years because it got trashed at the end. Well, that's because one event trashed it. The F only did one event to trash it, etc. But I actually kind of like the idea that they're decommissioning the flagship to as a double, because you know, how do you justify every ship in the fleet? Well, if you're decommissioning the flagship as well, a forced decommissioning, then I can imagine there being more, you know, because part of a conspiracy is people not guessing it's a conspiracy. So if they say, we're going to make a double special event, we're going to launch the G, decommission the F, celebrate 10 birthdays. Come on, warp in. We're going to launch a Protostar D, you know, Dauntless F, Voyager G, the Miranda 6, all the stuff.
But incoming transmission, and poof, Worf pops up. I love this. Where's Ro? Hey, Mr. Worf, how's it going? Yeah, she's dead. This scene where he popped up on screen felt very cinematic to me. The lighting, the presentation of it, felt like something you'd see in one of the TNG movies. I don't know what it is about that shot that makes me feel it's a movie quality shot, but that's what.
Well, it was lit better than lots of the other shots of the entire show, which helps.
Well, maybe that's it. Just his face just looks very movie quality cinematic, you know.
Yeah. But I'm going to end the poll and start one last one as we end the end. Is Jack a 64%, something totally new? Oh my goodness. 26% anti-changing sleeper agent, that's my theory. 6% A472, and once again, or hybrid, and once again, it sounds like people think this, but only 4% of you thought a changeling. So those that spoke up are the only of that 4%. It's very interesting.
And Gary James says, puts in $2 and says, can a Borg merge with the changelings link? I think you mean Borg again. There's no E on Borg. And I don't think the Borg can be like linking with the changelings. No. Matthew DeFreitas, member for 5 months at the rank of lieutenant. Says, I don't know why, but the most wholesome feeling came over me when Worf acknowledged Picard and Riker. Admiral? Captain? Did you have similar feelings? I did not. No. Not at all. When the Intrepid tracers have been taken offline, when the Intrepid engines were taken offline, not necessarily. The ships.
No, why would they be? They're different systems.
They don't. It's not the motion picture. They're not channeling the phasers directly to the warp.
I need to pee really badly, so I'll see you in a second.
Yeah, I just want to kind of be done here and get my score and go home. But anyway, hit that like button if you haven't already. 313 likes. Let's try to get it 320. I think 7 more is entirely possible. Yeah, we are wrapping up here. So this is where I tell you guys to super chat in with your scores out of 10. We want to hear them. It's the best episode of the season so far for you. Let us know scores. Super chat them. I will read them after we are done our evaluations. And yeah, if you don't want to super chat them in, you just want to put them in the regular chat, Sam will read those. So, and of course, the last scene is the kicker, I guess. 4 changelings on one ship, and Shaw's like, good shooting, kid. And he tells his mom, he doesn't think he's all right. There's something wrong with me. And she's like, how did you know there was, well, 4 of them were changelings? Well, I didn't. I just killed them. So that's problematic there. So yeah, interesting way to end off the episode. I'm glad he told her, and she's a doctor. She's not going to ignore it. It'll be addressed next scene or next episode immediately. So that's awesome. Oliver Lavery Farag throws in 10 pounds. Today is a good day to spy. And Metallica fan 1442 throws in 5 pounds. Do you think Jack could be a synth? He seems to be able to defend himself like Soji or her sister when their life was in danger. No, I don't think so. I do not want to think that, because I would just be stupid in my opinion, unless, again, it was explained very well. But no, I don't think so.
Yes, hello. Oh, dear me.
General Grievous, $2. Sam had to pee real quick. Wash those hands.
Yes. But no, the reason I asked the poll, though, is because I genuinely had such a... I know you said you didn't, but I had such a... the satisfaction of having them reconnect. Michael Dorn's like... just it was really, really well done. I kind of hope that... Not they were done this, but I kind of hope Patrick was like on a video call to actually to play the scene. Because if he's acting against a camera on day 17 of a shoot, I mean, I know he wouldn't have done that, but it would have been nice if they had. Because as Terry said, you can't just have them all know each other in episode 1. You have to earn it. And we've earned each character being brought in, and you really feel it. So I was really, really happy with this moment, and all their connective words was wonderful and simple, and now we're connecting the stories, which you bloody well need. And then obviously you talked about the 4 changelings. How do you know the 4? Although I definitely think there's more than 4 on the ship. I think there's now more. I think we've got someone else, at least one more to deal with. Although I shouldn't ask how you killed them. I was kind of surprised that wasn't brought up. Did you know you weren't killing innocent people? But not, how did you kill 4 changelings? Because I heard of the Dominion War, they were kind of hard to kill. She doesn't mention that. I wonder why. Bit of a big omission, really. Yeah. But both her acting is great here, and his I mean, he cries. I mean, it's always a fun. It's always when you cry, but he got me here, and I assume we're going to start off next week with just straight in from this scene, basically. What are you seeing, Jack? What does it mean? And then now we're going to meet up with Worf. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah, because we know the Titan goes to Titan. Titan goes to Titan. Titan goes to Daystrom. So I guess we're going to have them meet up, and then go together, and then that's where Riker... Yeah, there we go. There we go. It all comes together.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, we're going to give our final rankings and scores, and we want to hear from you guys as well. Super chat in with your scores out of 10, and we will read those after we're done.
We want to know.
And if you want to put them in the regular chat, Sam will read those. So.
And really, every single person put your score. I really want to know what you guys think. So, Stuart, what do you think of this episode? And has our full breakdown changed any thoughts whatsoever, or deepened them?
I don't know. I've just got a better appreciation for the episode. It's just really well done, really well crafted. A lot of really good stuff here. Ro coming back and dealing with her issues with Picard and betrayal, I think, were very well handled. It was worth it for that alone. The price of admission, honestly. Jack stuff is quite confusing, but that's the point. It is quite a good hook, and hopefully has a very good explanation, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be disappointed. But as of right now, it sits really well, and I'm looking forward to finding out where that goes. Seeing the new Intrepid, again, fantastic. Love the new ship design. It's one of my new favorite ships. Something about it just really speaks to me. I love it, and I want to see hopefully more of it. Hopefully they get repaired and come after them again. Maybe that and the Shrike will be working together. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, other than that, just trying to think what else there was. There's Ro. The Ro thing was the biggest thing. It was a really good episode. Like I said, the pacing was awesome. It just fired on all cylinders. Didn't have anything. Didn't really need. I mean, wow.
Now you say that the middle bit.
Some of the Rafi and Worf truncated or taken out, because again, it was all right, but seeing that planet again really kind of bummed me out. And hopefully that's the end of that. So, although her the plan of her stabbing him was just kind of stupid, honestly. But anyhow, as for scores, I don't know if this is my best of the season so far. Honestly, I think it's probably tied with.
Would you like to?
Best.
We don't have to do this. Actually, know your top episode and what the score is, just so you can give some context.
Sure.
Okay, so you gave episode 3 for 17 seconds a 9.46 for this season and 9.81 for all Picard. So your current highest score is 9.46 and 9.81. That was 17 seconds. That was your favourite.
All right. Well, this one, I was thinking 9.5, honestly. So I'll stick with that. I'll say this one's a 9.5 for the season. For all of Picard, though, my God, this is a 9.87 at least. 9.88. Because Picard has sucked. Seasons 1 and 2 are not great.
Well, especially in contrast.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like contrasting flavors.
Those are my scores. How about you? Have you think any different of it?
I mean, you know, we saw new details, like tiny things. Motivations were definitely more clear in this live, which I appreciate. No, like I said, it's my favourite. It's the most complicated, with the most reveals, the least less working stuff. It just highlights the Rafi stuff. It feels like they're padding it, even though it's okay padding. Just in comparison, it's just so much weaker than the rest of it. And also, again, this season is so cheap. I mean, you can absolutely feel they're no money. I mean, my goodness, their budget, I would half of last season, I would be guessing from this, with a caveat they probably threw lots of money in the end to kind of end on this, you know, epic TNG season end, which I think is what they've done. But very cheap feeling, because the fact is, the whole thing is people talking in rooms. But if you know what, if you bring back a 30-year-old legacy character and deal with 30 years of trauma, and every scene is good with them, that's fine. I'm good with that. And I never thought I needed Ro back because she's a very small footnote in the Trek legacy. If she'd been Kira, then boom, she would have been huge, obviously. But she's such a small part of Trek. Just happens to be the actress then went on to be Kane, so she's now a multi-sci-fi standout. You know what, that helped her solidify, and then she's a character actor besides that. I wish the makeup was more distinct. That really, now second viewing, that we noticed that more. But probably Patrick's best at acting the season in this vein. Him and Beverly, as I said, it's very good subdued acting, but a lot of that is the small stuff. Here, a lot of the big stuff there to come out and burn and throw, and that was very good. So yeah, really, really solid. I mean, I as I said to Marie, hands down the best of the season. So I've got to look at my scores and kind of take that into account. But I'm more conservative, Stuart, so I have more wiggle room than you do. And I will say, if it doesn't get better than this, I'm okay with that. Because writing-wise, this one is really effing great. There's not a lot of Trekyard stuff in it, or there's some. So for us, we'll enjoy stuff like that in a way. But the writing here is so gold standard, it cannot get better, and I'll be fine with it. Which is the first time I can say that. So good for them. Score-wise, for this season, I mean, I'm going to jump mine all the way up to, I think, a 9.4. So I'm right there. So I guess you like it more than me technically, but we're confused by who likes what. I have a different scoring than you. So 9.4, which is a significant jump for the previous one. And all of Picard, I mean, Jesus Christ, all of Picard, that's not even fair, is it? I mean, it's better than Nepenthe, and that was great. It's better than season 2, episode 1, I think. I mean, it might be. Is it the best episode of Picard? Well, you've always said no because your other score, but I probably the best episode of Picard because Picard's Picard.
It might be tied with that.
Yeah, it's really, so that's really kind of unfair. Oh, okay, I'm gonna say 9.4 for each just to give wiggle room because that's still extremely high. The fact that we're in points, we're in point numbers. Everything's at 9 pretty much because season 2 of Picard was getting down to like lower numbers of like 7s and 6s. Oh god. Right, what do you guys think? Let us know.
Alright, let's see what you guys are saying. Tangerine Star 26, member for 30 months at the rank of ensign, says Picard is the live Star Trek I've been waiting for. Yay! Absolutely. Joe Brown, $2, 8.5 out of 10. Mark Lawrence, member for 36 months at the rank of Federation Council. I think the bad dreams in his childhood are stemming from a time where he was altered or replaced, and his mom is letting him think it was just his nightmares. Could be. Could be. That's interesting. Simon Uphill, €10. Another great episode. This season keeps getting better. Thanks for another great breakdown. Well, thank you, Simon. We appreciate that.
We really do.
Silent Spaces, £5. I think 8.5 out of 10. About the same or slightly weaker than last week. Patrick was most Picard-like this week of all Picard seasons so far. SBS Guru 2000 throws in €20.
Oh,
so much.
Thanks so much.
Do you think his vision with the transporter was just a vision, or did he see something was wrong with the transporters? Could changelings use translators to replace people with changelings, or fuse them and overtake them? I don't know. I think it was just a vision he had. I don't think it was seeing anything going on there, but it could be. I mean, they kind of implied something's up with the transporters.
Are we implying there'll be great murder as well, the bridge crew? I mean, that's the thing. It could all be literally foreshadowing. There'll be a scene on the transporter room where a virus... If he's seeing the plan, okay. But also it could be super abstract and just he's experiencing the world in this broken way. Either way would be absolutely fine, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Samuel throws in $5. Says, at the end, I noticed the Intrepid and Titan were different classes. They spent money on two models that look different, skins of the same STO ship.
Now that's a troll comment, I feel like, because everything about that was wrong, apart from the first bit.
Yeah. They're not STO ships. They're their own unique designs, and we'll just move past that.
Well, no, just for clarity, build, design both. They're both low poly models, relatively speaking, so quick to make. They're not very expensive because they're not very high end. Both very different. And in fact, one isn't even textured like TMP. The Wasp new one is actually totally different.
Yeah. Tim Theo throws in $9. 9 out of 10. Perfect. A Saucy Puppet Show throws in $10 and says an 8 out of 10. Impressed with this season so far. I wish they would have kept Ro around for another episode or two before killing her off, but I get why they didn't. And Mark Lawrence, $2. It says 9 out of 10 for me. Read my guess about Jack. This is probably the super chat you sent. Yes, that he's altered or that it was replaced. Yeah. Interesting. Yes.
All right.
Good theories out there about Jack.
Yeah, and they evolve every week. Because the first theory was, is he clone Jack Crusher? Boy, all the theories. How it has evolved over the... Only 5 weeks, Stuart. My goodness. My goodness. Alright, your non-super chat scores are in. We've got a 7.5. That's Jericho. Jesus. It's very low. 8, 9, 7.8, 8, 9.5. Wow, big spectrum here. 9.5, 9, 8, 8.5, 8, 8, 8.5, 9.7, 9, 8 out of 10, 9, 8, 8.5, 8.3, 8, 9, 9, 8.5, 9.5, 8, 9.9, 9, 9.1, 9.5, 9.5, 9.6. Wow, some 8s and 7.5s. That is shocking to me. I wouldn't even consider this in the 8s. Like I would never go lower than a 9, I feel like.
Yeah, even if there's any other series, like, this is well written.
Yeah.
This is well written. Yeah.
Because really it's just a TNG. This is really a TNG sequel episode. I mean, of all the episodes, this is just a TNG sequel. Like there's nothing else here. I mean, it's just a TNG sequel, which is great. Very cool.
Well, all right, guys. I think this was fun for sure.
Whew. Yes.
One more like to 330.
Oh, yes.
That's all I'm asking for. And yeah.
And guys, be forewarned that next week something will go down in the world of Star Trek Picard, and you will see a lot from us. So make sure you're available at the live time that we were this week next week to be here to express. You'll want to express opinions, and we're doing a special Trekyards-esque reaction. You'll see why. A bonus live of the weekend to really get to talk about without the construct of having to go scene by scene, because that's fun but limits us in a different way. And Maria's going to be here, my girlfriend of many years. She'll be here. So if you want to get her drunk, then's your chance. It'll definitely worth joining us for that weekend one as well. If you're around at the weekend, pop by. We are going to do costumes as well for those, at least me. And Marie might be convinced. She doesn't like anything like that really, but she said for the right amount of booze and the right amount of super chat, and then if you fit her, like I've got some stuff. So if you wanna make that be her first internet Star Trek uniform ever, and her mum will watch the live, and her sister will, and it's quite funny to hear their reaction because they talked about the last one. And they were like, "You were so drunk, Marie," and she's like, "I know." It was great. It was very funny. I think she got a text in the middle of it. You're drunk, aren't you? So yeah, join us for that. That'd be a lot of fun. Tim. Thanks, Tim. Thanks. So yeah, lots to talk about that one. And things that week, of course. So make sure you're around next week. And the season finale. These two are important. There you go.
All right, guys. Until next time, check out our content this weekend and tune in next week. Another routine.
Yes, you do.
We will see you later. And Philip Gaming will be in touch soon. We want to do a video, edit a video with you. So, till next time, he is Commander Cockings.
And Sebastian's our super chat. Thanks so much. And here's Captain Foley.
Oh yes, €2, 9 solid episode.
There you go. Closing thoughts. Thanks everybody. See you next time. Bye everyone.